District 9 is my favorite movie. I love the prawns. I love the virus thing that turns them into the prawn. I love...
What do you think the prawns taste like?
I would assume shellfish.
Would you, like, if you cooked them, would you crack them open like you would any other crustacean?
Like with the hammer and the rod?
I mean, a true professional doesn't need tools.
Well, you start from like a weak entry point. So,
right.
The butthole. Or you could go through the mouth.
I
don't think they had belly buttons.
Prawns are one of the same. The butthole and the mouth is the same thing.
Hello, and welcome to the Josh Knows Nothing podcast. I'm your host, Josh, and it's just the OG crew, which consists of...
Them original gangsters.
I mean, you guys... I mean, that was your cue.
Hold
on.
How am I supposed to know
Say
that?
Say it all at the same time.
What?
Like,
our names?
Say your names all at the same time.
Bilgar.
This is why we don't take the bait.
Okay.
Stuff like that happens.
Okay. Well, we have Anna.
Hi.
Emily.
Hello.
Okay, and that was everyone, I think. So
you forget Bilgar.
I Bilgar.
Damn.
Seriously though, I didn't hate District 9.
It wasn't bad.
Wasn't good.
It was just kind
of in the middle.
So it left you like, well, why did I watch that? What was the point?
I don't know. And what was the point of that? Weren't they like? Did they fly there, or because how did they become dumb?
I don't think they became
like
dumb. I think we just didn't understand them.
Well,
I don't. You know what? You're over here like District 9 is pretty good, but you don't even fucking remember the plot.
I don't know. Well, so for this episode, guess what? I didn't plan anything. I have some things I want to talk about, but in terms of entertaining you, I'm not doing it. I refuse.
I
think it's about time.
I love the very minimal lead into that.
I like that too. The worst part is that I forgot to turn on the computer audio, so we're not actually recording any of that right now.
So there's just a dead spot of silence?
Oh my god.
Like right there. Do we have anything else? No, that was it. That's the only thing we watched.
That's literally it, and you just ruined it.
No, hold on.
You fucked it up,
how did I do that? What is it? Did it work?
I don't know.
I'll try it. Bustin. There it is.
Gotta skip forward a little bit for the bustin'.
Hold up. Pause it real quick. So before we started recording, right? Josh listens to this song with Alex because it's their favorite song. Literally writes down on a piece of paper, like, this will be the song that we dance to at our wedding, and tries to get me to sign it.
And she did. She did.
I did not.
She's like, this
It's
is one of the most
very clearly your
beautiful
signature.
songs I've ever heard.
Just play the song now. This is ridiculous.
If there's something strange sleeping in your bed,
He doesn't
let me
respond.
tell you something. If there's something weird sleeping in your bed, oh, let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good.
Yeah, so that's gonna be what we where we dance to.
Not gonna happen.
I mean, you don't like this? You don't like that? She doesn't like that. Ladies and folks, mission failed.
We'll get them next time. Let me say water.
Enemy AC 130
Speaking of well, before I get to that, Alex, tell me how your my brain like shut down. Like I was thinking like too fast for what I was talking.
You know what he is?
I'm still doing it, I think.
He's a 2001 HP laptop.
Can you hit me with the ear rape? Like, can you hit me with the ear rape of the windows?
Straight up Commodore 64.
What
are you trying to ask me?
Hey, yo, how was your
Trying to get
week?
Windows 98.
I was about to say month because I'm used to us not recording on time.
It's I mean, it's only been one day,
It's been a week.
and so I guess I'll just say that it was
No, you
a torturous
ding dong.
nightmare.
I'm talking about the last time since last Monday. How's your week, man? It's been a week since they've heard from us.
No, it hasn't. I talk with everybody, all of our fans
God.
personally.
I watch them. I stand over them while they're sleeping, and I'm. I should close this tab. Before
You should. You really should.
Yeah.
My week was nightmare.
All right. Cool.
Wow.
You didn't do anything exciting. Nothing at all.
Went to Chicago.
Oh. Okay.
Why?
That's a
Why?
good question.
That's a really good question. Like, why?
That's a valid.
There's a plant out there. They really needed something, and
They really needed those
they
films.
needed it. They needed it right now. Let me tell you.
Down by the range.
They needed it now. They needed it fast.
They needed it hard, and then they needed my spurs. Lasso them up, and
So I mean that was cool. Came over on 95, so I got to go on the old Skyway, which was cool. I got up right next to all the buildings and such, so that was nice.
Wow.
I never even
Sounds
been
awful.
To, never even been to Illinois before, so that was my first time.
Hannah and I went to Chicago. Like whenever
You know
we
what?
came back.
I was honestly, yeah. Oh, what? Continue. This has to do with Chicago, but I'll let you finish your story.
Hold on, let me get this straight. I was about to talk about Chicago, and you decided to just interrupt me.
I did, yeah.
And then
I
you're like,
apologize.
actually, no, mind. You can continue.
Yeah, I apologize.
Thank you.
I got ahead of myself. Go ahead.
What was I talking about?
You were talking about how we went to Chicago.
Oh yeah, Chicago.
Yeah.
She's running at a Windows 10 while you're running at Windows 98.
No, something way worse than that would be
No, see,
Vista.
I'm Google, and he is Microsoft Edge.
Don't talk about Edge. Nobody likes Edge.
I know.
Microsoft doesn't even. They all use Chrome. I guarantee it.
Microsoft Edgy.
It's so anyway. Chicago. Am I right? We went after we drove back from Alaska, and we stayed at the Trump Hotel. I think I wore sweatpants
You
when I
did.
walked in.
You did.
Everyone in there is wearing like full Gucci. Maybe I don't actually really know what
You
that
guys
is.
get bed bugs?
No.
Hey, dude, there was a TV in the mirror
In the bathroom.
in the bathroom. That shit
Okay.
was fucking insane.
Here's what I was gonna say: is
That's
I think
pretty
that's what
common
we
nowadays.
should do. I think that's what we should do for our honeymoon.
What?
Is we should stay like 3 days.
At Trump Hotel?
Yeah.
Do you think they keep like a lock of his hair on display, like a glass case?
No,
It's like
because
one of his,
when we went,
Wigs.
because like we were super excited, right? He had actually kept it a secret from me for like 4 months, which I was very proud of him. And we ended up having to drive all the way from South Dakota to Ohio, straight through, and then turn around 5 hours later and drive to Chicago.
Easy.
So we
peasy.
literally got there and like fell asleep. Like,
Yeah, we basically went there I paid $500 to stay the night there.
right.
to use it as a hotel.
Yeah, but it was like it was
Yes,
just,
but the intention behind it was that we were gonna do way more
okay.
at that hotel.
Yeah.
You were gonna trash it.
No, we weren't gonna trash it, but like we were gonna
You
watch
were going to.
Tiptoes.
Okay, yeah, Tiptoes was our main
You
goal.
were
That
gonna
was our
recreate the
main
pee-pee
goal.
tape.
But yeah, I mean, like, we just, and like it would have been
Straight
nice.
froze me. Like I didn't know what to say.
It would have been nice to like be able to walk around Chicago at night and like just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like experience it.
We
But
went-
we
we
were
had-
really so tired.
We had authentic Chicago pizza.
The pizza was good. I will
Yeah.
say.
I mean, I've never been to Sparrow's, but it was fantastic.
Oh my god.
I've never had better Chicago pizza.
I thought about stopping. I was like, I gotta stop and get
Okay,
some
here's the
pizza,
thing: is
but-
there's two types of Chicago pizza. There's the thin crust Chicago pizza, and then there's deep dish Chicago pizza. We had the thin crust, and so that's what I'm saying is we need to go back. We need to have deep dish Chicago pizza.
I think if you
Also,
tell somebody from Chicago,
we
that
went on the
there's
same weekend as like the Pokemon Go convention,
I
and there were so many.
If I wasn't so tired, I totally would have went to it.
I know, and like that's what would have been.
Catch
fun,
me some
but, like,
Charmanders, some Baby Shoes,
we were literally
some squirting.
we were so tired.
There's no way of saying that.
No, there's not.
Definitely none of the newer Pokemon.
yeah, don't even get me started on these newer Pokemon. They got like three that are like, oh yeah, wooloo. Oh, that's cool. But then you got, hi, I'm a glass jar.
Hi, my name's Keychain, and that's me. I'm a Keychain.
You're
That is
joking,
my
but
power.
that's a Pokemon, isn't it?
I know it is. It's a ghost type.
Are you a Pokemon boomer, Alex?
I am a Pokemon boomer.
Holy shit, we are.
Please.
Back in my day, we had Charmander, we had Eevee. And
Back in my day, my Pokemans
Nine
didn't have no
tails.
color. It was black and white. That's all you had. No color.
I can't with you.
I think you took that too far.
I think you did
right?
too.
I think it was a mix of the voice and you saying no color. Like that was not a good combo.
The Southern?
Yeah, the Southern.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
because of the implication.
yeah, okay. Back in my day, you had to stick AA batteries into your Game Boy to get her working.
Back in our day, Game Boy. We just had Game Boy. We didn't even have color. Again, not the.
Stop.
Back in my day,
Just stop.
back in my day, we didn't have game. We just had boy.
No.
You know, someone who
didn't
never
want to play that.
you know who never stopped playing boy? Jeffrey Epstein.
Jesus.
No.
I mean, we had a slip in him. Is that a dead meme now? Do we still talk about that?
I think it's dead.
It's dead.
Or it's time
Just like
for
Jeffrey
it to die.
Epstein.
Oh my gosh.
You left me hanging there.
Wait, how did I leave you hanging?
I just want
it's
to
the
say
pun.
hang because he hung.
Oh,
because he didn't hang himself.
my
There it is.
damn it.
God, see, it wasn't.
It doesn't work.
It
if
wasn't
you have
funny to begin
explain
with,
it.
and then it wasn't funny when I explained it. So
No. But it was somehow funny after that.
What are we talking about,
it's
Josh?
more of like nervous laughter. We're talking
He
about
has no idea.
deep dish Chicago pizza.
Oh, I forgot, yeah. He
I
didn't
think
plan anything.
I think if you tell somebody from Chicago that there's two kinds of pizza, they'll probably like try to hit you. They'll
No,
be like,
they
no,
know.
only deep dish.
They know.
I feel like I've seen people get really irate about like,
Yeah.
wasn't Guy Fieri? Didn't he do a whole thing about
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know.
the deep dish?
So how deep is too deep for Chicago pizza? That's what I
It's
want.
just a soup. It's like a bread bowl.
Gross. I feel like you have to still be able to like eat it like a slice of pizza.
I'd
It's
like
like
to
a
go into
sack.
one of those places.
Like when you hold it, like the crust.
Oh,
You have the crust,
no.
but the middle of it's just like
That's so wrong.
I'd like to go into one of those places and then be like, it's not deep enough. More salt, like
More!
get angry at more. Like what? You call yourself deep dish? But they're like the most renowned deep dish pizza
Yeah.
place. Just like get really angry.
It's like bake it in the trash can so it's even deeper.
Oh God, no!
Do you know nothing of deep dish pizza?
Good Lord.
never come back to our city.
Like, you know, why don't you make good pizza like Little Caesars?
Dominoes.
little, give me some little seizures, and they're legend is they'll kill you right on the spot.
Yeah.
So
They'll break out a katana. Oh man.
I don't like it.
Emily, how's your week been?
Well, it's only Monday, so I'm just
Since
kidding.
Oh, I was about to explain it again.
It's only Monday.
Ow.
Sounded
it's been
forced.
it's been busy, very busy. That's about all I got.
Cool.
Okay.
Busy with what? How are you busy?
Hold on.
Explain yourself.
Are you prying, Alex?
Okay.
I'm your husband. Am I not allowed to?
No. Did I do it okay? Did I do it?
No, it was too.
I
There's
don't know
too many.
what's happening here.
No.
No, see, I didn't have it either. It's
No.
that's a little closer.
No.
It's still a little bit more.
No.
forward. No.
I'm trying to take all the emotion out
Okay,
of it.
you know what
It's
it is?
difficult.
It's a hard N and then it fades. Like, no.
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 There you go.
No.
No.
No. No.
So if anybody has no idea what the fuck
No.
we're talking about, it's the iRobot meme where the robot just says no. That's
No.
it.
What did he say no to?
I have no idea.
I don't even remember.
Comedy.
I don't.
Comedy.
No.
Ugh.
Gold. Beautiful. Love it.
How was your week, Josh?
My week was incredibly frothy.
I can believe that.
You guys like that word,
Why
frothy?
is that the adjective you use?
Frothy and damp
No. No.
and
No.
Moist.
moist. I'm trying to trigger everyone who hates those words that listen. Frothy,
And
seepage,
Oh.
Pus.
pus.
Ew, your little lip.
I'm still trying to talk like the robot. Pus.
Jesus Christ.
So everything about this is wrong. It's all wrong.
Is there anything else? I forget.
Secrete.
Ooh, that's a good
Secretion.
Secrete.
oozing.
That oozing, seeping secretion.
It's very moist.
So moist and frothy.
That was the worst combination of all of it. Oh no.
Can you hit me? Can you hit me with that again?
Oh, how it stinks.
God
Stop.
damn. Ugh.
Ugh.
What a
the more throat grumbles, the better.
God.
God damn.
In case they don't know, what are you guys referring to?
Oh, just a funny video. It's another Meat Canyon video. What a champ that guy is. I mean, I feel like he's had a really rough life, probably. But I mean, if you don't know who he is, I definitely recommend checking him out. He's the one who did the Ed and Eddie video
25 cents.
to see God. But anyway, he's got one for Bugs Bunny.
Do you think that's how he sees the world? Like when he watches cartoons, that's the way he sees it?
Yeah.
Like he sees that live and then he's like, I need to recreate this for other people.
Yeah, I think he's trying to impress the creators because he wants a job and he does it from memory. That's how he remembers it.
You know
I
how they
remember,
do Yoda ASMR? They need to do one where there's no context and it sounds like he's behind a wall and it's just the audio of his Bugs Bunny video. Just no context.
That'd be great. I would like that. See, what else did I do? I had a job interview.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be
Oh,
working
boy.
at Chipotle, right?
Yes, that is what I've decided to work.
Yeah, you want to peel them avocados.
No.
You want to throw that. You want to squirt the lime on the chips.
Yes.
You want to make that vinaigrette.
I want to seep the lime onto frothy, goopy. Is goopy one?
goopy. I don't know.
No.
Well, Gwyneth Paltrow's taking it there.
She has taken there. Didn't she have like the vagina candle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What a. I should have come up with a.
Pepper Potts really just went off the deep end after Tony. I mean,
Yeah. She lights those vagina candles like in memory. Like, I was about to say memorandum in memory.
yeah. She puts them around his like wreath.
Yeah.
You know?
This is for you, Tony. For your sacrifice.
Jesus. That's the new Meat Canyon video. It's got to be like a creepy,
Creepy Gwyneth Paltrow.
yeah, creepy Pepper Potts. Incredible.
I didn't really do anything else besides I mean, kind of wedding plan. I mean, Anna's just taken like the reins. Every time I talk to her, she's figured out like a whole like section of it.
You know what it is? It's because on one hand, yes, I would love to talk to you more about it, but on the other hand, 90% of the time you just come up with some dumbass answer. And I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to worry about getting through that to the actual answer. So I'm like, you know what? Just fuck it. I'm just going to do it myself.
I gave you a genuine answer. You asked what kind of...
I asked him earlier. I said, if you had to choose a cake filling, like, you know how they have layers of cake and you put a flavor in between. Does anybody want to take a guess what he was going to say?
Frothy
before...
cream. Cum? Frothy cream?
No, Alex. No.
What did I say?
Pasta sauce.
Kumquat.
No. He said, I don't even want to say it.
Say it because
No.
I don't know what you're talking about. Because I think you're going to get
You
this
just
wrong.
said it.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
What did I say when you asked that?
Actually, I didn't let him say anything. I was like, nope, I know what you're going to say, so don't even say it.
And what did I say into that? I said, I'm not going to say.
What?
I'm
You're
not going to say
what?
that I want the flavor of human cum. I said
There it is.
I said
There
I
it
wanted strawberry.
And then you changed your mind to raspberry.
Yes. So
But the thing
in a way,
is I had to get through the dumbass answer
No.
into the actual
I
answer,
said-
which took
wait,
15 minutes longer than it should have.
no,
So he wants raspberry cum in the
no.
No.
I said that I'm not gonna say cum. That's what I said. I said I want strawberry.
Joshua?
Yes, I was gonna say.
But you said that. That's the problem.
He wants you to be proud of him, is what he
I'm
wants.
Yeah, I want you
I'm
to
not.
appreciate
Because
He's trying to say-
he acknowledged the fact that he wasn't going to say it.
Well,
Are
yeah,
you
but he's
saying-
like,
Therefore, saying it.
Are you saying that isn't progress?
No. Progress would have been just like strawberry. Nope. No, I think I want raspberry. Raspberry.
no, I think I want cum.
But you know
Oh, wait.
me, and you know that my mind went straight
I
there.
do. Which
and
is
I
why
chose
I
not to
don't
go
ask
full
you
in on it.
things. Which is why I don't ask you. Which is
I
why I
didn't-
don't bring it up. Which is why I'm not like, hey, Josh, you want to go cake tasting? Because it's just gonna, exactly. Which is why I'm gonna bring
You
my
just go to the-
mother and Lindsay instead,
You
and
just
you
go to the
can
bathroom,
go fucking jerk off
go
at
down to
home
those
by yourself.
Random holes. Hey, I'm here for the cake tasting. You're right. You're right, Emily. We should stop talking about this.
I'm just thinking, welcome to the Langdon life. This
Honestly-
is what Alex says to me too.
Honestly, it makes me
You talking about
question
cum
my
too?
life.
Hell yeah,
about
brother.
cum and cakes.
Hell yeah, brother.
It makes me question my life choices. It really does. Because the thing is it's not like I'm just like trying to plan like something to go do for like date night. I'm trying to plan like my wedding to him.
Yeah, it's like a series.
And every
Yep.
time I ask him a question and I get something like that, I'm like,
So you're
why
rethinking the engagement.
fuck am I even doing this in the first place?
You're rethinking the engagement.
Yeah. Every time.
Thankfully,
How's that make you feel,
Alex's
Doug?
answers aren't.
And then he'll do something
Vulgar,
like
but-
he'll do something like really nice or like really sweet. And then I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. And then is immediately followed up with like a Garth Brooks reference or some shit. And I'm like, just
Yep.
fucking why? Just why?
What do you mean by that?
It's the package.
Do I have to explain myself again?
The whole thing.
He's just
I'm not
breaking
doing it 'cause
down the walls
he's looking
between
for
you and
something
me.
and I don't like what he's looking for. Wait.
You're really hurting my feelings, Anna. When I asked you to marry me, I wanted
this kind of horseshit.
I wanted to spend my life with you.
You wanted? So it's past tense now?
No, because you just said that you don't want to be married.
I never
you said that you're
I said
questioning
I
it.
question it every single time I try and bring up something in regards to our wedding.
Why do you hate me?
I'm not even dignifying this.
I have done nothing but support what you want for the wedding. You wanted a cake
Oh.
flavor. I gave you a cake flavor.
Oh, must we rehash the dress blues?
I
done everything that
See,
you
what
wanted
you
me
didn't
to
hear
for this
after-
wedding?
after the last podcast is that I said, if you really want me to, I will. I don't want to, but I
You
want us to
literally
start
said
our marriage.
You would rather be like, what was it, like raped by a gorilla?
I never.
or something like
It's-
whatever
no,
it
no,
was.
I
have no
never
idea what
said
it was.
that.
No,
I
he
never
was gonna
said
be
that.
69 by a
No.
angry silverback
It's
gorilla is what it was.
69, a gorilla, while shoving King Kong up my ass.
There it
That's
is.
The specific
Thank
quote.
you.
No, that's
Thank
wrong
you.
too.
He said he would rather do that.
It's a grizzly bear. If you get him,
Oh yes,
It's a grizzly bear, not
Either
a
way,
gorilla.
You said
That-
you'd rather do that.
King
than
Kong
wear
is
your
the
dress
gorilla.
blues. You'd rather do that than wear your
why would I
dress
do
blues.
2 gorillas? That's
Oh,
boring. Hold on. You're hurting me. You're hurting my feelings.
Listen, they all know it's
and
fake.
and
I don't like it when mom and dad fight.
well, as I'm trying to find something else to play so I can get out of this weird funk. Hey,
It's the second music track.
hey, you want a sweatshirt? I just realized I played the exact same ones for that ad. No, but seriously, you're being mean to me and you're hurting my feelings, and now I'm not really sure where I stand in life anymore.
That's fair. I mean, were you really that sure before? Windows 98 really working real hard over here.
Can you hit me with a poem?
Why are we doing the ad thing?
No, because that's the only other track he could pull up really quick.
No, there's other ones. Hold on. What is this one? Oh, this is the one for the
The
last one.
saloon one.
Oh boy.
This is when I said, I would rather 69 a grizzly bear
Yeah.
with, that one.
Yeah. He put that in the background. I don't know if you
Oh, I heard
or
it.
not.
Oh, I heard it.
I heard all of it. That's creepy.
It's funny. We're just talking about our last
last
episode, and
episode.
that's just all we're gonna
We're just gonna keep
replaying it. Yeah.
How was your week, Anna?
Oh, my week's just been peachy. Just peachy.
Peaches
So-
aren't in season right now.
Okay, so I
Is that code for
done
like
talking.
heroin? It's February. Peaches don't grow in February, right? At least in Ohio. Why are you on your phone? It's showtime.
I just said I'm done talking.
But you just talked. So does that mean that it's over? That
Insert
windscreen is in your
sadistic
face. I
Anna
can't see.
smile
She
that she
smiled.
wants to kill someone.
You love me. Love me. Please love me. Say it back. Say it back. I'm not going to stop talking like this. Oh, yeah. I won't stop. Can't stop. The Gaza Strip is really is not a place I want to go because of the bombs and the destruction, the weeping. I'm not gonna. Come on,
Adam, please.
please talk to me.
Please, I beg you.
Talk to me. Oh! Fine. Let's just sit here and see how silent we can be.
Play the
Let's see
quiet
who
game?
loses first. Yeah, quiet game.
This is a bad idea. You fucking talk right now. You fucking open that goddamn mouth right now. Open your mouth.
Why does he need to open his mouth?
What do you got in there? Huh? What do you got in there? Oh, I know how to get it.
Hold on. If I keep making that sound, will you?
Oh.
No, Josh, don't shove that there.
Hey, I will put that grapefruit lady up there. If you do not
Oh no.
start talking, that really hurt my throat. I don't know how they do it.
Jesus Christ.
What? Are you about to talk? Please.
Hey, what do you guys think about
Emily's trying to save this.
Bay Ringer, whatever that is?
I think that they're pretty
I just
insolent.
looked at the name of the
They're great.
The,
So the
equipment.
what did you think about the Super Bowl?
We didn't watch it.
Yeah, well, what do you think of like sports? Come on now.
Fuck, I'm just trying to come up with something to talk about. Oh, what's Super Bowl?
Congratulations
everyone
to the
else.
Chiefs, though.
It's
Yeah.
it's a big bowl.
It's super.
it's really super.
It's perfect for my coronavirus.
The halftime show was really good.
Can we start?
Can we talk about the halftime show though? Because I still have a problem with it.
I mean, there were some things, but
I
thought it was pretty awesome.
No, it was a good show.
It's very American. You know, you got football. You know, you got the patriotism. You got the stripper pole. It's very American.
No, the Patriots weren't there. Thank God.
I said the patriotism.
No, you don't talk about that. That's too close to the Patriots. Now, I think that the Super Bowl should have more inclusivity.
Yeah, there should be male strippers up there in them stripper poles.
Yeah, where's the man? We have been oppressed for too long. Why can't we have male strippers
Yeah,
up there?
come on.
It's only like a family event.
Wearing, you know, assless chaps and
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
Just get some boys from the ranch, get them down there, and just do the do-si-do. I mean, I don't know. Give me something. Of course, I say that, but like it was last year, right? Where what's his face from Maroon 5? He basically just stripped like on. Every time the camera looked at him, he was wearing one less piece of clothing. Like what? What happened? How did that happen?
Adam, please.
Please.
Stop cutting the camera feed. He'll lose his pants if you cut the camera feed again.
It's like Doctor Who with the weeping angels. If you blink,
Don't blink, please.
please.
If you get him down to nothing and you blink again, he loses his skin.
You remember the old cartoons, of the Inside Out boy?
Oh my God, yeah.
How nightmare! You know how they like bringing back everything like live action? Could you imagine that?
Oh my God. Inside Out.
Every time he walks, you hear the because his skin is inside out.
and then like it would sting, because his entire body would be like an open wound. So like as he walks, it would sting. He'd have like gravel.
His like nerves are just sticking out.
He's just a constant agony.
Like, you imagine like a gentle breeze, and he's just like, so okay, now just go.
I think he turned inside out because he was on a swing, right? So and then he's flipped around and that's how he turned. So they recreate that entire scene, but the entire movie he's just lying there on the ground.
The paramedics come to try and help him, but every time they touch him, he just screams out in pain more.
So they're just all standing around and they're not even doing anything. He's just
That from those who brought you Despicable Me 3 and House of Pets 2, we bring you Inside Out Boy. What was his name? Was that it?
That's all I got.
Hold on, I need to see a
Look it
picture
up.
of him.
Look it up.
Inside Out Boy.
Can we get this into a weird nostalgia train for old Nick stuff?
Oh shit, there it is. Nick Inside Out.
All episodes.
Hell yeah.
Why are his glasses not on the outside? Or like not on the inside?
May not be suitable for anyone who didn't grow up on
He was just an ordinary kid.
Wow.
Until that fateful day when he accidentally swung over the bar and learned he had incredible powers beyond those of any superhero.
Wait a minute. Pause it, please. Okay. Look at the top of his head. You see that? Yeah. Okay.
What is that?
No, okay. So that's hair coming out, right? But there's a ring around it. Okay. So where did that come from? That's his asshole.
Yeah, he poops out the top of his head.
That's his dude. No, look at it. Yeah. Where do you think that hole came from? The hole came up and it's cinching his hair. Where do you think it came from?
Emily said she wants us to focus more on this stream.
This show freaked me out as a
Yeah,
kid.
this is weird.
It actually
And he's
kinda
like,
gave
he's
me
got
a little
incredible superpower. What is that again? He turns inside out. That's a superpower?
I think he has actually a medical condition. Like his skin isn't like attached as well as it should be to like, you know, the rest of his body.
This is who Thanos was afraid of.
Yeah. Top 10 anime characters who could defeat Thanos within the first minute.
I just want to know what was happening in the boardroom when they came up with this idea. Like, hey, let's think of a new kids show. How about a kid whose skin turns inside out and you can see his organs on the outside of his
I
body?
think they were just
Yeah,
like,
that's not terrifying.
I think they were just like, you know, we need to teach children more, so let's have more educational programming. The guy's like, right, gotcha. Yeah, I got just the thing right here.
They just straight up, hey, Garth, what do you think of this? I really like that.
Take a little boy, turn him inside out.
Put his
Oh my
butthole on top of his head.
Stop.
I want to see when he has explosive diarrhea. It just pours all over his head.
Ew.
Into his eyes, and he's crying. And
Talk about going septic. Yeah.
okay, did we take it too far? Absolutely. But let's continue.
Wait.
Inside Out Boy. He couldn't fly or even leap tall buildings. But what he
Dude, that would kill him.
Yeah, what the hell?
Like, he would leave a part of him on that.
Yeah, he'd just be.
So he almost fell in the sky. His blood, or not maybe blood, but all of his organs are out.
Yeah. Where did Inside Out Boy go? Let's just follow the trail of blood.
Turns out he didn't get that far because he bled out pretty much instantaneously. He's still on that playground. He ain't going anywhere.
could do, gross out adults made him a hero to kids the world over.
Excuse me.
Inside Out Boy. What you want in a hero.
Guts.
From the network that
Guts.
My guts keep falling out because I have no skin to hold them in. Please.
Please kill me. Kill me. Okay, I mean,
Why haven't the doctors fixed me already?
I imagine the mother like desperately trying to put him back in the swing to turn him normal, and it's just like a horrible like crying. She's
just
crying. He's screaming.
Because of him.
And all of a sudden, like he stops crying. It's like incredibly quiet as the mother like is trying to desperately push him out the swing. Dude, that'd be savage. This is what happens when I don't come up with content. It just gets really fucking weird.
So they ran these between commercials.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't remember any of the plots of these.
I don't either. I just remember like it traumatized me.
It did actually.
Like Emily said,
it
it genuinely.
kind of gross.
I was just confused as to why it exists.
I was like,
Yeah, I like.
kind of gory.
Yeah, give me more of that.
He's still alive, and I see all of his guts. Like, what is this?
Yeah, the logistics around this is.
I think the clay actually made it worse.
Yeah.
I didn't like that it was claymation.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. But the alternative is what? I mean, cartoon would probably be better, but
They go grosser with it though. They'd be in there doing some weird cat dog stuff. You know,
I want
Cat
Rick
Dog
and
got
Morty
real
to do
weird.
something with this.
With Inside Out Boy.
Yeah,
We'll just turn Morty inside out.
yeah. Actually, I think they already did.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I do have something. Just because I was bored and okay, so I went to the gas station, right? And I'm waiting in line, and this guy is in front of me. All right, he's big time, like stinky.
Was he Brolic?
No, he was the opposite. He just, I don't know. I mean, he just, I'm sitting in line, right? All I'm doing is buying, I got us drinks for the podcast. And all I want is these 3 drinks. And he's in there and he's buying every lottery ticket possible that he can. all $5 that he has. He's trying to pick out a ticket. And there's only like 3 he could possibly choose from, but he just can't make up his mind. Right? So I'm just standing there. And like I'm kind of like trying to give suggestions, like, hey, how about that one? You know, like I'm trying to get him out of the store. So I get up there, I'm like, well, she looks at me, she's kind of like, she's like, oh, as if he's like a frequent customer. And I'm like, I'm also here for lottery tickets. She's like, haha. And then I pull out like a 10. And she's like, oh, okay.
She's like,
okay, sure. So she's like, well, which ones do you want? I'm like, I don't know. It's basically the exact same. Except I don't ever get lottery tickets. So I don't know like what's good. So I'm like, just fuck me up. Like give me whatever 10 can give me. So she gave me 4 lottery tickets, which I have right now that have not been itched.
What? It itched? You want to try that again?
They have not been itched. They have not been itched aggressively with like an Abraham Lincoln coin. So
you want to try that one again?
You just have you're like, oh, I think I have a penny on the floor. Like I left it.
It's that one that you guys were complaining about. It's corroded. That's fine. Everything's fine. It was you. It's down there.
No.
Did the recording stop?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
So I have double doubler,
Double doubler.
lucky jackpot, snow me the money. My computer is being oh no, hold on.
Somebody touched the extension.
Yeah, it's still gone. And then we have special edition cash word.
I want that double doubler. Just because I like
I have the double doubler.
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 I like
Double doubloons.
doubler.
All right. You have
Doubler.
chosen.
I'm just gonna go.
Anna,
with
what
that.
would you like?
I'm gonna win the prize of giving somebody else the jackpot money.
The one that looks like it's from the early 90s.
They all look like.
No, which one looks like it just came out of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Hold on.
What?
I don't know. The recording's being weird because I don't see your voice anymore, but it's still talking.
Because I haven't talked.
I'm gonna scratch off this doubler right now.
No, hold on. What do you want?
Give me
There's
the
like
one
3.
that looks like it came out of Fresh Prince.
Yo, they all look dumb. Like, I don't.
The cash word one, jeez.
Oh. Could have just
see
said the
the
big one.
background of that
I want the
thing?
big one.
I didn't know how big it was.
And
what
Emily,
you're
you said you wanted
chuckling
the
about.
lucky jackpot. Right?
Sure, I don't
I
care.
don't know what you're chuckling about over there.
It's just because I want Snow Me the money. Win up to $20,000.
So we're really just gonna scratch these off right now?
Should we do one at a time?
No.
No. Well, I don't have a penny.
You're gonna have to use your fingernail scrub.
Me neither.
I just cut them. I can't.
Get good.
Get good.
Get good. Use your teeth.
Yo, you got any other random pennies just lying on the floor that you could
Oh, actually, I got just the thing for you. It's
just pull out like a machete?
oh, it's somewhere.
What's the most you guys have ever won from a lottery ticket?
$10.
Wow.
All I won was regret. And that's not a joke. I've never won anything.
I won the ability to give somebody else the jackpot money.
Okay. I don't even know if any one or more of your win double the prize shown. What a boring segment.
I
All they
always
hear
get-
is just like scratch like
I always get really mad at these because I feel like I like got a lot of stuff and then it's never enough. You know what I mean?
am I supposed to
Dude, I won. I won $1.
Wow.
And that's what this cost.
Hey, give me that. Give me that. Come on, take this.
You want that $1?
No, I want the penny.
Now here you go.
No, that's 100 pennies.
What, you didn't want the
Oh, this is your racist coin. It's back.
you didn't want your Alaskan pocket Ulu? I thought you were Alaskan and you know how to use this. You
I
gave this to
won,
me.
I don't understand how this works.
$20.
No. Whoops. I did it
I
wrong.
don't understand. If any
Because I'm a dumbass.
if any one or more of your numbers match either of the winning numbers, you win the prize shown. Am I supposed to do all of them? I don't understand.
Ah, I see what's happening.
Oh wait, there's one more thing I gotta scratch off.
Yeah, I fucked mine up.
Whoopsie, give me the friggin'. I guess I'll scratch with this.
I fucked mine up.
Dog, this is the best scratcher. How are you sucking at this?
Guys, I'm just
So,
Hmm.
to
Oh, it's literally
make
it is
sure
just
we're
$1.
talking,
It's just $1.
just violent scratching.
I hate the sound so
Oh,
much.
yeah.
if you guys made as much as Jeff Bezos, what
Wait,
are
hold
some...
up. What?
Let's say you won the lottery and won
okay.
as much
we were like
as
Jeff Bezos
Yes.
level. Okay,
you
I
could
got
you
I
could
got
never own as much money as Jeff Bezos.
I know, but
I would buy a person.
this isn't real. Alex.
Josh would buy a person. Good to know.
Yeah, what would you do?
Hold
with
on,
the
let me
money?
rephrase that. Okay, hold on.
Not
I
buy
would
a
buy
person.
Wait, that's not what I meant.
Isn't it?
No, by person, I mean I'd buy like a robot that seemed like a person.
So you'd buy an android.
You buy an iRobot so it can say
Yeah.
no.
No.
It'd be
Such a
terrifying.
weirdo.
That thing
Yo,
just
I won
standing in the corner.
fucking nothing.
Dog, at least I got $1 for my double doubler.
7-4. I was literally like close to doubling $2. That would have been dope.
That would have been dope.
Hold on, did we all lose?
Oh, I
No,
got
I
$1,
haven't,
dog.
I haven't
Yeah.
figured mine out
I broke
yet.
See
even.
the penny. 25.
I used up all of my luck for this. I used up all of my luck just to break even.
I spent $2 on this and I won nothing.
I'm gonna roll my ankle like walking down the stairs to my apartment now.
Honestly, if I would have won the $20,000, you guys never would have found me.
Yeah, well, we would have found you dead in Venezuela
Yeah.
or something.
You would find me like dead outside a swing set trying to turn inside out.
Ooh, I don't like that.
I used all $20,000
Hey, I
to
got
build the machinery to
$2.
do it.
Emily won.
To go like 4,000 RPM.
Emily won.
What'd you
What?
I got $2.
$2.
That's how much this lottery ticket costed.
You broke even too? Hey, Ellen, I broke even. Get good. Get on our levels.
Yo,
Get good.
fucking thing sucks.
Wow.
Incredible.
Did you win?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
You
I
know,
did it wrong.
Play some sports bets over there? What is this?
I did it wrong.
I'm glad you picked that one. I don't have the capacity to. Huh?
Yeah, Josh does not have the capacity.
you know what's weird is that you can take these in, even if they lose, it's possible it was misprinted and you can still win money.
Yeah. A lot of people just get them. They don't scratch them off and they just have the people scan them.
Yep. 'Cause the barcode on the back is really what matters.
Yeah.
So do that. Take all of them in. I'm scared.
Hey, you actually won negative money.
Hey, give us some more money.
That's negative $3 that you owe us. The IRS will be contacting you soon.
Hey,
The IRS will be contacting you
this is
soon.
kind of dumb, but can you look up that old Nick thing with the alien and the caveman?
Oh yeah, dude, I haven't. Forgot all about
I
that.
don't even remember what it's called.
Ooh, whoops.
That's not how you spell alien. There you go.
Alien and caveman.
Yeah, cartoon.
Cartoon.
Yeah. What is it? What is
Remember
the-
Claymation, the blue dudes?
Prometheus and Bob?
Prometheus and Bob. Dude, I forgot all about these dudes.
What you're about to see is top secret. It is a
Dude,
videotape
I immediately got hit with like,
Hardcore nostalgia.
yeah.
recorded 900,000 years ago by an alien using a remote-controlled camera.
Dude.
Shows his attempts to educate a caveman. They have been codenamed the Prometheus and Bob tapes.
Good Lord.
Prometheus.
Incredible.
22.
Dude.
Music.
You getting on a nostalgia trip?
What's happening here?
Oh my god, I forgot all about this. I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
Like it.
I want more of it.
I want all of it. They need to bring this back.
You need to show this to Oliver so that he can also have vague memory of Prometheus and Bob.
He does not need.
Remember that?
No. Okay, they
Caveman?
all talk about how cartoons nowadays are so crazy and just like blah blah blah. It's like but Prometheus and Bob,
Yeah.
Prometheus
and like Cat Dog, and Courage the Cowardly, like all of that shit.
Right.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ew.
Right.
What?
Cat Dog was literally the original like centipede.
Yeah,
that wasn't
Cat
a
Dog's
centipede.
Horrifying.
Yeah, that's a lot of gross out horror.
Yeah, the implication though was awful. of what happens.
I
between
remember the one when they like stretched out really far, and then like one of them was like walking through like the digestive tract of the like it like turned itself inside out somehow.
like
They did that a lot.
or like a circumcised penis. Yeah,
There's a lot of walking around on their own digestive tract, and I think that weirded me out more than
Yeah, it's a little.
anything. Like stop.
It's a little
Stop, I
not
don't want
okay.
Like there's a lot more you can do. You know,
Dude.
with a cat,
dude.
like it's,
Man. I have one other thing for us.
Yeah.
no?
Well, really, it's for me, but I get these loot boxes,
Mm-hmm.
and mine came in.
Oh boy.
So I figured I might as well just open it here. You know, we're not sponsored by loot boxes by any means, but
But hey, if you guys want to.
well, let's see if it's worth it. Let me open this box, and I'll tell you.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we don't want them as a sponsor. Maybe they don't have a good quality box.
Maybe we'll find out. Gee, I hope you still have that knife.
You want the pocket woooo? You don't get it. You get this one.
I don't want it. I'll take it.
I like that.
God.
Should we stop doing that?
Yes.
Get really old.
Open the.
Get really
I went
old.
backwards.
Yeah. What the frick?
The way I handed you that knife is like the exact opposite of the way you're supposed to.
Yeah.
All right. I am now opening the box. I am lifting the lid on the box. I'm adjusting the box. The lid is now opening even farther on the box. All right. The first item is a shirt, which is Fallout 4.
Fallout 4.
It is Tesla Science Magazine.
I think I just want $100. I'm being 100% serious.
What?
I think I just want $100.
I just won $100.
No, I just want $100. Shut up.
I think you mean the podcast one.
No, I think I just want $100.
I think you are false.
I think I did.
Let me see it.
No, I don't want you to touch it.
Now let me see it.
No.
Whoops.
Oh,
Whoops.
wait, no.
It's a misprint.
Oh, no, that's an S. No, I think. Yeah, look.
I don't believe you.
So each, basically, like 3 words is $5, 4 words is 10, 5 is
So what's in the
25,
box?
blah, blah,
What's in the box? Wow, look at that. I remember that magazine.
blah. 2.
Because I played way too much Fallout 4.
Nope, that's not 5.
Hell yeah! First of all,
6.
I'm waiting for her to stop.
Continue.
I'm over here.
Sorry.
No, I'm over here like trying to show the contents of the box, and all you hear is 4, 8, 15, 16,
What do the numbers
23,
mean,
42.
Mason?
4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42.
The numbers, Mason.
I have to push the buttons. I must put the numbers in
That's
the.
not what I'm referencing. Come on,
What? I
man.
didn't hear what you said.
It's Black Ops. Mason, what do the numbers mean?
I was talking about the. All right,
know
next
you-
thing. I have a Doom Blood Ice Pack.
Wow. Hey, are you going to use that?
Realistically, probably not.
Feel
that.
One of my ice packs broke, so I need to get a new one. And I'll just use
There you go. You're getting your use out of the.
Oh, it's classic Doom, too. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. All right, the next thing
Is that a,
is
are you going to use that, too?
a PUBG. It's a. It's one of the things that you put a.
It's a can cooler. It's koozie.
Yeah. Oh, it's got 2 of them.
And then this one I was so close.
I hate PUBG.
But you have to win.
So
My boss plays it, so if you don't want that, I'll give it to him. What is this one?
Damn.
I don't know.
Chicken dinner?
Still, that's officially the most I've ever
Winner chicken dinner. That's what the pin is.
$50. That's awesome.
Boom, ba doom, boom.
Interesting.
All right, and then my big daddy.
Wow.
Ah, it's a big
Yeah,
daddy.
It's literally a Big Daddy.
It's a
that's what
handmade.
it says.
That's what it says. Big Daddy vinyl. Collect them all. Handmade by robots.
Handmade in... I always feel bad for the things that say handmade.
I feel bad for the things that say handmade by robots. That means we've already enslaved robots to create like...
Yeah. So that we count their hands as actual hands. Not like...
I mean, this is cool and everything. It's the knit series. Who?
So
Okay.
it's supposed to look knit, but it's not knit. It's...
Rubber.
That's the dumbest thing I've literally ever heard of.
No, I think it's a plush because it's got a tag.
Take it out.
Oh,
Feel
yeah.
I don't want to take it out. 'cause
Take it
ruins-
out. Feel it. If it's not
Okay.
plush, I'm gonna be
It
very
is.
upset.
It's a plush.
I don't believe it. Because he said something about vinyl, and I'm like, what?
Well, it's a... These are called vinyls. No, it's definitely a rubber.
It's definitely... Yeah, that's like plastic. That's not real.
It's handmade by robots, though.
So why would they make it look knit? That bothers me.
We're not one to get the fuck...
Calm yourself.
So that
Come
was
on.
it, huh?
Huh?
That was it, huh?
That was it.
Weak. I don't want them as a sponsor.
You heard it here first, folks. Blue Box.
How much?
You can't. Actually, I'm locked in on a contract with them, so I don't want to.
How much do you pay though per month?
I paid $300 for 1 year.
I can't do math. What is that?
So it's
Times
about-
divided by 12.
25
But
cents.
that's about how much
Yeah, the
do you
shirt's
pay?
nice though. I mean, the shirt alone is worth what I probably paid
Yeah,
that
he
month.
really
or not.
likes the shirts.
Some of them are misses, but this is like a well-made shirt.
The last 3 have been really good.
$35.
$55.
Someone paid $25 for a shirt.
Yeah, but I also got other stuff.
But that's like comparable.
Well, you
to
don't
what
want
pay in
either
the
of
store.
these things, and then the.
Well, I do want those, but you said you wanted them, so
Wait,
I
you
was being
want
nice.
these?
I desperately want them, but you said you wanted them, so I'm letting you have them.
What? Take them.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't want it.
I don't
See how
believe you.
difficult he is?
I don't want it. If you throw that at me or try to give that to me, I will. I don't know what I'll do, but you won't like it.
Well, I want to find out.
God.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I won $50 by the way.
$50.
$50.
Oh.
Sweet. We
So-
can put that into our podcast fund.
Nope.
We made
Which, by the way, we made
$53.
$22 so far as a podcast.
Hell yeah.
Tack on 53. We made more money off the lottery than this podcast.
Y'all, this money ain't going back in the podcast. I gotta use this for a wedding.
I don't think so. Whose wedding?
Oh, so we're not getting married then?
You said we're not.
No,
you were
I
like,
said
I don't want to be married
I
to that piece of shit. He's short, fat, smells.
I remember
White.
that. I remember when you
Guilt.
said that. Why do you keep saying that?
Put this back in the box. Then.
It's Rick and Morty. Look, you're supposed to deny it. Like I did say that. You're not supposed to
There's
agree
no
with it.
point.
So you did say it.
There's no point in even disagreeing. I mean, everybody knows that I didn't.
I
that.
say it because I'm in desperate need of like someone to make me feel okay because
You have
I'm
Carol.
hurting inside and I want you
You
to
have
make me
Carol.
feel good.
You have Carol for that.
He needs reassurance, please.
Yeah,
Like
and
I don't
reassurance.
give him reassurance every day. God.
You've called me dumbass. Hold on, I marked it down here.
Josh, you're a
3
big,
times. 3 times this episode alone.
Let the
Speaking
record
of-
show that he's literally just.
We
Tapping
started
his
the last
failed.
podcast with her calling me. That was like the first word, and then I had to cut it out because she didn't want it.
I said I was sorry for that. Did I not?
You are a big.
She said she was sorry, but then she said that I was dumbass in like the same sentence.
You're a big, beautiful, vibrant boy. It's full of life and energy.
See,
and
you have
soul.
Alex for validation.
And
I'm a tortured soul, and I need.
you're a beautiful, big, frothy boy.
Look, I'm. I don't want to just. I want the person I'm supposed to be marrying to tell me these things. I need it like all the time, or I'm gonna be like.
Do we not need to
Constant
pull up any of
reassurance.
my text messages that I've sent you in the last week?
He needs a wake up morning text with like a little heart.
Oh no, he gets
Little
one every
sunshine
morning.
reflect-
I woke
Really?
up.
Actually, let's be 100% honest. This morning, he woke up, turned his alarm off, and my alarm saved his ass from being late to work.
Wow.
And then I got up, and she's like, she looks over, she's all like being sweet and everything. And she's like, "Hey, don't forget your stuff, you cunt." And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Oh, you dumb cunt! Get your stuff on and get on out of here.
I hope that's true.
It's not.
And I'm like,
It's really not.
I'm like,
Because
wow,
I was like,
why are you being so mean to me? Like,
because then
oi,
he was like,
cunt.
I'm running really late. Can you take Oliver to daycare? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. So what did I do? I took Oliver to daycare and I took a really cute picture of him. Look, he was so excited.
Aw.
Wow.
And I sent him said picture. Did I get a response? Nope.
No, because of the fear. The fear that I'll say the wrong thing and you're you know, start yelling at me again.
You poor timid boy.
Look at this. Look.
I'm the victim.
Good morning. Hope you have a good day. And also, it's really easy for me to find the mornings of our text message conversations because I never get responses.
Josh spilled the tea and Anna's
I
got the
don't
receipts.
get
Oh,
internet
Joshua.
service in the hangar. Okay, I don't
think
get it.
Half of these you're at your home.
I think she's the one who's being.
Or I'm driving. Would you rather me text and drive and then
And
die?
I didn't get a response till then.
Yes.
Like, let's talk about that for a second.
How about
And
when
then
I?
I say this.
Okay,
so
before
that
you
one
look into that,
responded. But then it's like here, then it's a half hour.
hold on, before you look into that though,
And then he never even responded to that one.
oi, no,
Shit on that one.
but look at this. Okay, look at recents. Look at all the times I call her because I'm a caller. I don't text. I call, which means more than a text message. Am I right?
Not always.
Tell me that I'm right.
I'm not going to tell you that you're right because it's not always. I mean, if I ask
What is
you,
more,
if
like,
I
what-
ask you a question, all I want is an answer. Half
What
the
is more
time.
like meaning? Like what has more meaning, a call or a text?
Depends on the content. Is that not true?
No, genuinely speaking,
Like, is
Emily,
that not
I want
true?
Emily. No, you can't. So what
Why
do you
am
think?
I?
What do you think would be more like,
Because
personal
Alex is
and like?
Hey,
Distracted.
does this smell like cancer to you?
Emily, what do you think is more meaningful? Does this smell like cancer to you?
That smells like
that one. Yeah.
that. Definitely smells like the
Cancer.
coronavirus. Like you
What
just
in
gave
the
that
world?
Smell it. It's like that. Like
Wait, what is this?
remember when you'd go to COSI and you get like the
Oh.
plastic things? Yeah, like that.
It smells like the.
Do you remember those?
the
pure lead.
The
They were like
inflatable
they were
fair
like the
aliens?
tubes of plastic,
Dude,
and they
smell
had like
this,
little things
dude.
in them.
Yes,
And you, like,
yes. That's
yeah.
exactly what that smells
That
like.
is-
Dude, that's like a
Smells like
Goodyear factory.
Nostalgia.
Yo, this is how the viruses start. Smell that shit.
That's a Goodyear factory.
You like put it straight up to your nose because you're not expecting
Yeah, put your
it
nose like
to
in
be
between the
that
two of
strong.
them.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Ooh.
I
They're
smelled
like
that
Man,
very
it smells
before, I don't
specific.
know where.
Like
It's very
Like-
pungent. I don't like
It's
it.
very
I
pungent.
feel like cheap
Yeah,
products.
that was rough, right?
Kind of
Yeah, that was rough.
have that smell.
I got a little high on that
Yeah.
one.
Ones that like you don't
on my
want anywhere
fingers.
around or in like a toddler's mouth. Because they will like they'll go to the
That's-
hospital and the doctor will be like, yeah, there's nothing I can do.
That's exactly what it is.
He and or she she'll be dead within
That's-
24 hours.
Yeah, that's exactly
Why?
what that is.
Because you cheap ass bought some dollar store toys that has lead in it from China
Oh my god.
or Taiwan. Was it Taiwan that? Which is the one? Where does all the lead come from?
No, all the lead comes from China.
China. There you go.
Get all that
Vietnam's a
Russian
safe one.
asbestos.
Russian asbestos. Good lord.
It's the only kind I like.
Ooh, no.
You know, they still make a lot of asbestos in Russia. They're mining it. They just don't. They're just like, oh, it's fine. They're just walking
That's
around.
fine.
Like, nah, it's fine. They're
Like you
it's just-
realize that gives you cancer. Yeah.
no, they're like, that's just Western propaganda.
Yeah.
They don't believe it. It's the
I don't
weirdest thing.
believe you.
Yeah. Spooky business.
Spooky. I wish I had the busting up. I forgot about the monkey.
Oh yeah.
Prometheus and Bob.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Were you
What
really that
is
checked?
this?
What? Were you guys checked out?
No,
like
I
earlier
know what
when
it
we
is.
watched
I just forgot you still had it up.
No, I've never seen this.
It's Prometheus.
I never
We were
watched
watching
it.
it earlier
I
in the
never
episode.
watched it as a child because that's horrifying.
Yeah, I would not have watched
Alex and I
this.
watched the shit out of this.
Hell yeah.
That explains.
Prometheus.
What do you
and
mean?
Bob.
It
You don't
really
like the
does.
one?
Would you never watch Nickelodeon?
Yeah,
I
but
didn't
not
watch
this stuff.
This is some. This is some like.
This really explains everything.
It truly does. Truly does.
This is
You want to
terrifying.
break down the scene, Joe?
Okay, yeah. So I'm just so enamored with it. I love it.
Explains everything.
So Prometheus and Bob, for those who don't know, is like a 90s, I'm assuming 90s cartoon. It's not even a cartoon, it's like a claymation of an alien named Prometheus and Bob, who's a caveman. And basically each episode, from just going off of memory, is Prometheus trying to teach Bob like how to do things.
Yeah.
And Bob, being a caveman, I mean, he's a big dum-dum. He doesn't know. And typically there's always a monkey that always ruins Prometheus' life, essentially.
Okay.
Prometheus questions his life because of the monkey. That's pretty much it. So in this scene, he's trying to teach Bob how to basically blow through a horn, I guess.
Do you think that this influenced Ridley Scott's Prometheus? You know, the Alien franchise.
You think that's what the alien like sounded like? Whenever it's coming at you and it's just like,
You know, I got it. I understand now. So you guys
and there's always
watched,
the remote.
you guys watched this stuff and Invader Zim, things like that, and then your cartoons got shut off. And that was all the exposure you had of childlike cartoonage.
We watch cartoons our whole life. We watched Rugrats.
Okay, but
Cat
wait a
Dog,
minute.
Courage
You-
the Cowardly
your-
Dog. Hey
your
Arnold.
cartoons got
Angry
shut
Beavers.
off at a point.
Yeah, Mom and Dad put them parental controls on there. We had to watch like How It's Made and like Les Stroud like eat frogs and stuff for a while.
So it went from like straight
like,
demented
okay, Mom,
childhood shows to
I can
like
watch a man
adult
drink
shows.
his own urine, but I can't watch Prometheus genuinely try to help another human, like, well, not another human, but teach a human being, like having generosity
Right?
to show, you know, how to do things,
I can't-
how it's made, right? The original.
I can't watch Doug be a cuck. You know, I can't watch. I can't watch Arnold have a big old football head.
Remember the Doug movie though? Like where there was
No.
like the swamp
Do you
monster.
remember Recess?
I love Recess.
The memes that came out of that?
Recess was dope.
Yeah. The YouTube poops?
Yes, yes.
iCarly had the best YouTube poop. It's like the brother what was his name? Spencer?
Spencer.
yeah.
He
Crazy Steve from Drake and Josh.
he like looks at the camera and like it's obviously the edit for YouTube poop and he's like, my dick feels like corn. It was just like so like you could tell that's not even close to what he said. Like they didn't even try to sync it up. But that's the basis of YouTube poop. It's just ridiculous.
Sucks.
Yeah. Grandma's Kisses is probably the best one ever though.
Yeah, but that one's just been not allowed to find that anymore.
Yeah,
YouTube just takes it down whenever
YouTube,
they can.
there's like a guy at YouTube dedicated to making sure that it doesn't see
He's
the
like
light.
he's like finding every available search word and keyword
Yeah.
that's
He
similar.
looks
to
for
it.
Vin Diesel, orphans. Vin Diesel once made a go-kart that ran off the hopes and dreams of orphans. It goes fast.
What in the world?
Why is this podcast such a train wreck?
Because I didn't play anything. I actually probably do.
You
have
did.
stuff.
There was something you wanted to talk about. You wanted to talk about the Catholic
You know,
Church.
I noticed that you labeled the Chaos
Oh.
episode part 1. So is this just gonna be part 2 of the Chaos episode?
No.
No. Because
Why did you label
you
it part
have the
one?
Chaos series.
Right.
And the
Yeah,
next
this
time,
is every time.
yeah,
we
the
allow
next
you to
time will
take
be
your-
the Chaos series too.
Oh.
I did have something I want to talk about, and you're absolutely right.
I know.
The wedding planning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is
How would
what
you
was originally
explain
brought up.
what happened, and then I'll.
And then
say-
you basically just like
And then
you
I'll just-
respond to it. You react to it.
Yeah,
This is
I'll
our
rudely
version of
butt
a
in.
reaction video.
Yeah. I'll rudely butt in when I need to.
Okay, so as previously established, I'm Catholic. Josh is not. Well, that seems to be, previously seemed to be throwing a wrench into things here because Josh is divorced.
What?
Uh-oh.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
As if
Sadness.
Nobody ever knew. That's like one of the first things we brought up. But anywho, so in the Catholic Church, if you want to get married to somebody who has been married before, they have to get what's called an annulment, which is basically regardless if they've been officially divorced legally or not, they have to essentially fill out a stack of paperwork the depth of like the 4th Harry Potter book. Yeah. Specifically the Goblet of Fire because it's the largest one. And they have to get like witnesses who like knew them in high school and like knew them throughout their marriage and have to be like, oh yeah, I was doomed from the start, basically. Like they have to prove that the marriage was invalid from the beginning. Well, if that doesn't happen, as a Catholic, if I get married to him and don't have an annulment, then I won't ever be able to take communion again.
What?
Which is like one of the biggest things, like as being being a Catholic is like one of.
Have you
it's the
ever
biggest thing.
wondered
Shut up, Alex. Let
why
me
they're
finish.
so controlling?
Let
That's
me
just weird.
Fucking finish because I was on the fucking phone with the goddamn diocese for fucking 45 minutes. Okay? Literally, like I was so pissed off at this lady because here's the thing is even if we fill it out and we submit it, there's no guarantee that it's even granted. So if it's not granted, I'm fucked either way.
So call the Pope.
That's not how it works. Not how it works.
Hey,
call
it's
Big
me,
Daddy
So
Francis.
it's
your boy,
like-
skinny penis.
Oh God. And
Sorry,
that's
that
why
was
they
my
wouldn't
first
grant
really
it.
interrupting.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So basically I've said, screw it. I don't care. And I'm just not going to do it because it just pisses me off. The whole thing is fucking annoying. And I even went, okay, so we're a part of the Diocese of Toledo. Well, then I called the Diocese of Cleveland because I didn't want to talk to the same lady and was like, hey, he's like atheist, but he's been married before. Does he still need annulment? She's like, yeah. And here's the
Wow.
whole thing, which I think is stupid. She's like, because we can't just say that somebody's marriage is invalid just because they're not Catholic. And I was like, yeah, but you're basically telling me that if I get married to a non-Catholic without an annulment, my marriage is invalid. Or if I get married to a non-Catholic without permission, my marriage is invalid. So, and I said, I was like, don't you think it's a little pretentious to just say that something is not valid whenever it suits you and then it's valid when it is?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? I was so mad. And like, the thing is when I get really mad, I get emotional and like I don't typically cry, but like I cry when I get mad. So I'm on the phone with this lady, like trying to hold it together in the freaking buybacks parking lot.
What a place.
I had just parked somewhere because I couldn't deal with it anymore. I was just so mad. And like, then I was like, I talked to my priest on the phone. And because I originally wanted a dispensation from canonical form, which is basically saying that I can get permission to marry like in a Methodist ceremony if we want like a family member to do it or something, which we do. And he was like, oh yeah, you can get that, but you have to get annulment first. I was like, why?
Ugh.
And then an annulment, he was like, oh yeah, it's like 5 months. Whereas I know people and it's taken 2 years.
Wow.
And like after 2 years, it wasn't even granted. So I'm like, no,
So no
Like,
more
fuck this.
communion.
no, I'm gonna do it anyway.
You're going to take communion anyway?
Yeah, because I really don't think God gives a fuck. I don't think God gives a flying fuck
But
if I get annulment or not.
what if you get up there and the priest just like, snatches his hand away?
I just won't go to my priest. I'll go to whoever else is passing out communion. There's always somebody else.
Like in the church?
Yeah. Yeah, because
But
there's
what
like
if they
there's
also
two
what if
lines.
they give special instructions to not give it to you because you're not supposed to have it?
Then I'll
I'm
go
pretty-
somewhere else. I really don't care.
I'm
Like, the
pretty
thing
sure
is,
they
like,
wouldn't deny her communion
No.
in
Bring
front of
your
the whole
own.
congregation.
Bring your own stuff.
Yeah, I'll
Josh
just bring my
remembers.
own. I'll be like, you bless this real quick. I'll just eat them. Yeah.
I bless a bag of Cheetos like every night. So
Yeah,
Can you
so
bust
it's
this
like
Dorito?
I was just like,
I respect the Catholic Church, but that's
yeah, and like I do too, and like that's the thing that sucks is like, I mean, everybody knows that annulment's like the most arcane bullshit on the face of the planet. Like it's just stupid, and I think archaic was maybe the word I was looking for, not arcane, but but it's just like it just pissed me off. Like the whole thing just made me so mad. And it was just like the lady is sitting there. She's like, well, from what you're telling me, it seems like he's got a good case. And I'm like, but you're not understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're basically telling me that regardless if he has a good case or not, if they don't grant it or they don't feel like they have enough evidence for it and then are like, I don't know what to tell you, then I'm fucked either way is the thing. Is it's like if it's not granted, then they're basically like, well, you can't get married to him.
Here's where so here is where I have like
Pisses me off.
the issue with this, because one, I respect anyone who's any kind of faith. Like I genuinely do not care. As weird as this will, I mean, I'm not trying to sound like a dick. I really don't care what anyone else thinks.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Or does, and I don't mean that in like a fuck you kind of way. I mean it as like if you want to be if you want to be gay, be gay. I don't have a problem with that. I want you to live your life how you want to live it.
Don't shove it down my throat, but like, yeah.
I mean, the Tourette's guy said it best, but I'm not going to quote him.
The Tourette's guy said it best.
I don't remember what quote you're referring to. Can you please enlighten me?
I'm not going to say it.
Alex.
Anyway, so what bothers me is is atheist the right word for like what's atheist really?
Atheist is you don't believe in anything. Agnostic is where you're like, yeah, there's something out there, but like organized religion is not for me.
Well, see, that I think I'm more along that route than I believe
mean, you can be Christian without being denominational.
Oh yeah, and like not go to church and like that sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
organized religion is like a
bad.
I think
it's a bad.
that it's not a
It's bad.
it's not it has like a lot of flaws. I'm not saying that all churches are bad. I grew up in a pretty decent church, I think, and there's a lot of good like values I learned there, and like the fellowship and all that stuff. I mean, you learn a lot of good morals and ethics and all that fun stuff in a church. However,
it's when they start doing shit like this.
it's
The controlling
because at the end of the day, it's kind of still like a business.
Yeah, they want to
I
make that
think-
money.
I think, like Christianity, I'm a Christian in case people don't know. I think Christianity is at its best when you think, what would Jesus do? I mean, honestly, because
Jesus would make you fill out a 4-page.
Yeah, I don't think he would agree with denominations necessarily, because it's like, just follow me. That's all I want
Especially
you to
when
do.
all this is his fault anyway. Like this whole thing, it's his fault anyway.
Me, not Jesus.
Josh.
No, us. Like our
You said it like Jesus.
no, our entire relationship is his fault anyway.
Jesus,
You know
you
what I
really
mean?
fucked this one up, man.
Hey, dog.
Like you can't tell me that it wasn't like a God moment when
Oh,
I
yeah.
randomly like in the like middle of fucking nowhere
Oh,
at
yeah.
11:30 at night. I'm like, hey
Yep.
Josh, let's get drinks when you get back, and it's like 10 minutes earlier. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, whenever
Yeah.
you tell me that story, I
Isn't
honestly
it
get
weird?
goosebumps
Like it's weird.
because
It's not normal.
That's not the
It's a
only weird
God
thing that
moment.
happened though.
No.
The Methodist Church sent me a letter saying how they, hope I'm doing okay and everything. It's literally the first letter I've ever gotten from them since I left, like almost 8 years ago. So it was super like random, and
Yeah.
it was before like I really told anyone.
There's
So
things that
now
happen
I don't
that are
necessarily believe in
too
God
coincidental.
or Jesus per se. I mean,
Like
I don't
that
know.
To me, like everything that happened to you in that like month and a half, that to me is affirmation enough for myself. But I mean that's just how I view it.
Correlation.
well,
It's
for
not
me,
equal
I believe
causation.
more in like the people, and like there's some shitty people out there for sure. But what I mean is
yeah.
like, for instance, Bo Burnham, fucking comedian, hilarious. But I thought he had a really good point in where it's like, why don't we make Earth like as great if heaven and hell does exist, right? I mean, well, why not make while we're here as nice as possible as well? Which, of course, if you're following the
Yeah,
teachings and all
which
that,
makes sense.
you're doing that. But like,
I mean, God wants us to take care of the earth and take care of
But
people while
people
we're
are
here.
Dickheads.
But
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
and it's just like the other side of it where I just personally I don't think that there is a God, but I do believe in like I think faith is important, but not necessarily faith as in there's a all-seeing God, but
This
I mean,
is a
I don't-
bizarre episode, man.
I know we've been all over. Hold on, we were just talking about Prometheus and Bob.
I didn't think we get into religion.
Yeah,
this
okay. I don't want to
episode.
go too in depth with this, but like, because again, everyone's entitled to what they believe, and I think that's how it always should be. But when I have a problem with, and I'll call them out, the fucking Catholic Church, like, I'm sorry, but like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a bit
And
much.
you told me, didn't you used to have to pay for it?
You used to.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And who are they to say that my marriage wasn't real, or like off? Like it was real to me. But like I'm not married anymore. Does that mean like so that means I can't? I mean, I did get divorced. Does that mean I can't be happy with someone else? Like it just doesn't make sense to me. And I don't think God would draw a line.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want if there was if I knew for a fact there was a God and that's how he acted. I wouldn't want to follow that. Because I don't think that's right. But
Well, there's a reason we have so many denominations today.
yeah,
Because a lot of people didn't agree with that.
exactly. So
Well, I think the denominations come from getting political.
yeah,
Well, it was just different people's interpretations of the Bible.
But
You know, once it was
That's
finally
what I mean.
translated away from Latin, it's not necessarily politics.
It
It's,
was
you know,
Greek first.
yeah, people were like, all right, now that I can read this for myself, I think it means something else. And boom,
yeah,
there you
I
go.
mean, I think the bottom line to that is everyone has their own faith journey. It's not all the
Yeah,
same.
like some people need the structure.
Yeah.
You know, in the
Right.
tradition, and then other people just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Prefer it a
No
different
one's-
way. Some people prefer to help financially. Some people prefer to help by being out there on the front lines. Like it just
it
depends.
can give someone a purpose, which whether you're Christian, atheist, Muslim, no one's better than anyone else.
And, like-
it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't.
Like a really good example of like how it can go either way is like when my grandma died. Like she was very like staunchly Catholic. Like, I mean, she was a sacristan
She would
for
hate
a
me.
church. No,
Right.
she wouldn't hate you.
yeah, she would.
Yeah, she
I'm a-
would. Jesus, this is my grandmother we're talking about, Alex. Those are fighting words.
I'm a Methodist dog.
Oh my
That's how I felt when I went to the Catholic church or the Catholic school. Happened to cross my arms
You're gonna.
like a.
Can I finish?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thank you. No, when my grandma died, like for me and a lot of the rest of my family members, it was like I probably wasn't as sad as I would have otherwise been, but like she had basically worked her whole life to get to heaven, essentially. You know what I mean? So like she was a good person, you know, like she just was like all around. So it was like for the rest of us, we were like, okay, like, you know, I feel happy in that fact and everything like that. But then like other people in our family were like blaming, you know, I'm gonna blame God because my grandma just died. So it's like it goes like either way. Like you can look at like all the bad stuff that happens as like being his fault, but then you can also look at it as like, you know, like with my grandma, like it's not, she didn't suffer. You know what I mean? And like, you know, like you said, if there is a heaven, then it's like, yeah, that's where she was trying to get to her whole life. So like she's there now.
It's part of the reason I like gravitated towards deism, because it's, you know, the kind of thing of like, yeah, it's a creator, but they don't intervene in like the day-to-day stuff. So
Yeah.
because it made sense for me for like,
Well,
oh
and
yeah, this
that's
surgeon worked
technically-
15 hours to, you know, complete this surgery, but oh, thank God, you know, wasn't
Yeah.
a surgeon, fuck that guy.
See, that's where I'm with that too. I'm more like that's what I was talking about when I'm saying
that's just an interpretation of free will.
like that's what I was saying when I was
You know what I
like
mean?
people. I believe in
He gave
people.
us
Like
free will
if a
to do the
surgeon
choices and do what we wanna do.
performed a
Right.
miracle in
And not necessarily be like, no.
It's not all the training of the surgeon. It's
yeah,
not, you know,
yeah. It's the surgeon did that, not
Yeah,
God.
but, like-
I mean, you could say God flowed through him or whatever, but I mean that's his day job. He does it all the time.
But that just because people say that isn't it's not disregarding the surgeon. It's more of like God gave the surgeon those gifts. So it's like, thank God that like people are able to have these skills.
Well, it wasn't like he
And
just
it's
woke
not-
up
and
and
it's
then
not like
he grinded and studied and like
I
he
know,
worked hard. So
but he did
that.
it.
Yes.
Is my point. The point is you have the ability because of that. But like
he had God-given talents too. I mean, you
Yeah,
don't
but
just
the reason that the surgery needed to be completed in the first place
Yeah,
could
but
also be
thi-
considered.
okay, yeah, but also think about it. It's not like people say thank God and then they don't thank the surgeon. The first
Yeah,
thing they
sure,
do is
yeah, yeah.
thank the surgeon.
Yeah, but you know,
Yeah. Well, we're not saying everyone just it's
No,
all
I'm
God
not,
didn't do
but
anything.
it's like it all then just goes into interpretation of it too, and like that's the thing that I hate about like most organized Christianity is that like things get so skewed in terms of like what we should be looking at as the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Where it's like it, and, you know, and everybody thinks that it's like, okay, well, bad things happen, but God has a plan, and it's like maybe he just doesn't. Maybe fucking Hurricane Sandy just happened. Like, why does it have to be part of a bigger thing? Why can't things were right on the earth and you had a fucking hurricane and it sucked?
I refuse
what I
to
mean?
believe like parents looking forward to finally being a parent, and then they have their children or child die before he's even born to be an act of like part of God's plan.
yeah, to like teach
Exactly.
you a lesson. I hate that.
No,
I
like
hate
that to
when
me.
people say
that
that.
to me is just a tragedy. You know what I mean? It's just something that happened.
Yeah.
But it's like not.
If there is a
there's
God,
a
he had
reason
nothing
for
to do with
everything.
that. I mean,
exactly. It wasn't
it
like
wasn't his
any.
plan, it was
No,
something that
it was
happened.
just something that happened, and it sucked. But it's like
I
You
think
move
there's
on.
consequences. There's actions, reactions, and that's all part of God's plan. And he knows what he needs to do to help you get through these things. And
But with the inclusion of free will, I mean, at that point, now we got the controls. So like anything that we do, it's because we did it.
exactly.
Now maybe God gave us that free will, kind of, because we
We fucked up.
we got in the pantry and got an apple and like we shouldn't have. But like
but God steps in all the time, is
In
what
little
I'm
ways.
saying.
But that's
but it's more
getting rid of free will.
Well, but
it's still yeah.
No.
Not
all right, you dumbass,
necessarily.
you use free will wrong. I
Okay,
gotta.
Okay, if you're
That's the
a parent and you're watching your kid about to put their hand on the burner, yeah, you're gonna be like, you know, you're gonna help them bandage it up and like stuff like
You're
that.
still
You're
gonna
not-
Okay, but
do
why-
it
why
because
does
I
he
gotta
like-
learn.
Why when you send another sundown and then like, hey, you're destroying the environment, you're fucking everything up, you're touching the burner, literally destroying the
Yeah, hey,
ozone.
hey.
If you believe in climate change, and it's
Hold
like,
up.
My
We
child.
went from a kid touching a fucking burner on a stove to destroying
well,
the
because
ozone
we would
layer?
because in that
Jesus, hell.
in that scenario, we would technically be, from how I interpret what you were saying, is that we are technically God in that scenario. Like we're stopping the kid from
no,
touching
no,
it,
we weren't.
or we can
we
let
weren't
him.
stopping the kid. It's like a
like you tell them like no, don't touch that, but it's up to them if they're
if they
gonna
touch
it or
it,
not.
it's like
Oh,
you done it.
you think the whole like, you know, I am become death man was all like, oh yeah, you know, God just came out, hey, stop that, that's bad. And he's like, I'm gonna make the nuke anyway.
It's not like the kid who shot up the school. He didn't get his hand slapped. He's like, hey, don't touch that. No, the kid picked up the gun and he went to school.
Yeah,
like that shit's like.
okay.
I don't believe that that's part of any
and
sort of
I
plan.
don't think, and I don't think it
That's a
has
mental
to be.
health like
That's what
issue.
I'm saying. I don't think it has to be. The problem I have is when bad things happen, people blame God.
Yeah.
When it's like, okay, but like nobody looks at all the like little things or just the simple fact that we're alive. Like even Stephen Hawking said something had to cause the Big Bang. Like
Yep.
there's no way in the world that or the universe that could have just happened for like no reason. And Stephen Hawking was a very well-known atheist and did not believe that in a higher power. But even he said something had to spark that.
Wasn't it Einstein that said the more that I look into the universe, the more I believe that there is a God?
Yeah.
But that's just because we don't understand it. Like if I were to go back in time and have a flashlight and I pointed at a caveman, it's like, what the fuck is Prometheus? Is that you? like there's so much we don't know, but as we go on and learn about it, we're like, oh, that's why that happens.
But
That's
I mean,
along the lines
but
of
there's
a-
simple things like the missing link. Like
there is no
evolution
actual missing
can
link.
get you so far, but eventually there is the one missing in between bit. You know what I mean?
But again, that might just be something we just don't understand.
It's a.
It's
mean-
not that
it's
we.
a
I
God of
know,
the
but like,
gaps
I mean, for
argument.
years and years and years and
And
years,
the
and
gaps
years,
are
they've been
slowly
looking.
closing
They found
in
everything.
as we're explaining
So
more.
But
what
they've-
what drives me nuts is like, oh, the Big Bang happened just because humans happened just because like what. I mean, look at everything. We're like a grand design.
I feel like it's
but
just.
also
it's
look
just
at like where we're at, like
lonely.
where the planet is.
Is my dad's diabetes a part of the grand design?
That's because
Just
he
like I
ate too
get
much
okay,
sugar or
boomer.
whatever.
Like
That's
when
like
when God
free will.
Yeah, consequences.
when
Yeah.
God
I'm sorry.
decided
I get so frustrated talking about
know.
this stuff
My-
with people that
he decided that my father was going to be a person, right?
wanna.
And in that plan,
At
he was
least
writing it
try
down.
to
Okay, chapter
understand.
5. Okay,
Right.
boomered on Facebook. I don't get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild.
So,
So
Yeah.
which I mean, we could talk about this all day.
We could talk about it all day, but the problem is that at the end of the day, the two of you, A, aren't going to take it seriously, and B,
I'm taking it
you're
seriously.
not taking it seriously. You're fucking referencing Prometheus for God's sake. But at the end
We're
of the
on
day,
a podcast. We're trying to lighten it up,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
no,
God damn,
you
I'm
should
trying
have
to-
fucking brought it up then.
No,
Is
okay.
all I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, nothing's ever gonna be bridged if nobody is gonna have an open mind about anything, because you guys are just like, well, it's just because we don't understand it.
No,
Maybe we'll never understand it, and that's the entire point.
Well, I'm not completely dismissing.
No, you're not.
That
But,
there is-
but at the same
again-
time, you're like, well, it's just because we don't understand it.
Well, that's because that's what I believe.
Okay, and
But I understand what
under-
you're saying.
Yeah, and I
I just-
understand that, but like the way I look at it is like, okay, so the Methodist Church from your hometown that you haven't been to in 10 years randomly sends you something, be like, hey, just checking up on you, seeing if everything's all kosher. And it's like, that to me can't just be a person deciding to send you a freaking postcard.
yeah.
Correlation does not equal
in
causation.
the literal shut the fuck up, Alex. In the literal time in your life when you needed people to reach out to you. Does that make sense to you? What I'm trying to say? Like, there has to be some sort of anything, call it intuition or whatever you want, that has to be a part of that.
But how? Okay, so I got reached out, and even I got your text. I got the letter from my church and everything, and then everything still continued to go downhill.
But it didn't. There's an entire other course that your life could have taken had none of those things happened.
I spent a month crying alone in my basement.
Okay, that's your choice. That was your choice. Because you didn't tell any of us about that, is what I'm trying to say to you.
I knew about it. I just couldn't do anything about it.
Behavioral health. I went and I saw someone to help me get through it. A human
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
helped me connect the dots. And
But you also had to make that decision to do it.
yes.
Something had to be like, oh, damn.
But God didn't tell me that.
Why didn't? Well, how could he not have? Maybe it was like, God damn, my shoes are wet. Could that not have been something just being like, dude,
Well, that's not just
maybe
it.
you just really don't wanna. Maybe you just needed some little push. The whole fucking Walmart situation. You don't think that meant anything?
What are you talking about, the Walmart thing?
You go to fucking Walmart to try and buy 9mm fucking ammo,
Oh, yeah.
and no Walmart has any.
Whoa, we're on the
What the
podcast.
fuck?
What the fuck are you talking about this for?
Like, you
Holy
can't tell me that that's not just something. I mean, I
I
could go
gotta
to any
die.
Walmart around here and buy it.
fucking
You know what I mean? But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, that to me, those things to me, that's what it is. That's what it's all about. It's not the big shit or God talking to you or
Okay.
fucking like columns of fire coming down from the sky. It's those little nudges.
But that's
Yeah.
faith. That's not, to me, that's not God. That's, you can have faith and stuff, but it doesn't have to be a person in the sky like
I never said it's
orchestrating it.
what, but
Like I believe, you know,
I can't. I can't.
Oh,
Faith doesn't produce those types of things, especially when it's like I don't want to say because it's you, but like because it's somebody who doesn't necessarily believe in organized religion and believe in God as like a Christian idea. It's like it can happen to anybody. Like, you know what I mean? It's not because you prayed and you had faith that those things happened. It was outside forces acting upon that, is what I'm trying to say. Like, God can be in people doing good things. And good things happening.
I want to say something about
but
that.
okay,
But
but
stop.
I mean, I know, I do too, but like at the same time, it's like, I feel like you're just not understanding where I'm coming from.
No, okay. Maybe we're not doing a good job of validating it. I do understand what you're saying, and that the problem is that I can't. For me, I'm a very like visual person, and I need like, I'm someone who like, you can tell me all day that God was influencing them, and you know what, he could have been, but to me it makes more sense that it's just like circumstances just led to that moment. It all led to the
You can choose to view it as you want to view it. I mean, the person who sent the newsletter out to like all, it probably wasn't just to Josh, it was probably to a whole bunch of people.
No,
And
but
it wasn't,
but I mean, how many times do they send out those newsletters? And it's just one time
But
they found
you're-
his random address in Alaska.
But with your point of view, you're choosing to view that as more than a coincidence. It is,
But because,
something beyond a coincidence. Something is causing.
Because
this.
to me,
whereas from the outside of faith, when you look at it, you're like, oh, that's just a coincidence. But when you're inside of faith, you can see that and say that's more than coincidence.
Alex, I feel
So I
like
think
at
that's
that
where
point,
we're at. It's between coincidence and thinking that it's more than
but
coincidence.
do you honestly think that everything that happens is a coincidence? Every single thing in the world that's happened is a coincidence.
Like a fish just up and decided to walk out of a lake and become human. Like,
That's
please.
not how that works.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
an
but
extreme
you
gross
can't-
oversimplification.
I know, but
But it's not though.
but
It's a microorganism that is a single cell somehow mutating into multiple cells, and
You
it
forget
becomes
that
a
there's
fish that becomes other things.
You forget that there's a giant nuclear reactor that's powering the sun.
Then why
you know,
the fuck haven't we turned into fish again, Alex?
Because we've got a fucking ozone layer and magnetic
And there
field
wasn't
that
an
protects
ozone
us.
layer before.
No, not when there was, because we had to, as life was developing and we were developing photosynthesis, the atmosphere was changing and life forms were changing the atmosphere of the planet. And, this is a whole bizarre, weird side topic
So,
of
okay,
evolution
but-
that I wasn't expected to get into.
But think of this. Like, why are our brains different than a fish's?
Or a monkey's even.
Yeah,
because there's different creatures, a different environment, different things impact people. That's why you have different kinds of people.
I'm not don't get me wrong, I'm not disregarding evolution.
Right.
Like I think evolution can get you somewhere to a certain point.
But
In terms of like, we know birds evolve over time. We know we evolve over time. That's why our skin color is different. That's why that's why we're just different. We're all different. But I just refuse to believe
Again,
that we
it
evolved
works.
from
It
fish.
can work hand in hand.
I mean, we're talking.
Or monkeys, because technically monkeys just wouldn't exist.
We're talking billions of
Yeah,
years.
they would have
and
died out.
That argument also doesn't work because we're also talking vast distances, and natural selecting pressures don't necessarily apply to an entire population over a large, area of land.
I'm just
Again, this all starts with the fact that the Earth just happens to be in the perfect spot between the sun and just the gravity in general.
Exactly. You
It's
can't
like-
tell me that's random.
It's actually,
But it
not.
exists. It exists in other places. We're learning and reaching farther out into
Yes,
space.
but if
we're
it exists
finding other
in
planets.
then why is there no life on
But-
those planets?
We don't know that. We don't know if there was. We think that there was probably water or ice, at least on Mars.
It's again, it's
where there's
it's a
water.
point
There's
of
a good
view.
chance that maybe there's life.
If
too.
you're coming at this from a point of view of faith, you can say, "Oh, there isn't life on other planets that we found because of this, because of
Yeah, but then
looking
there
at it
might
through the
be
faith."
life on
But
other
if-
planets because of that
But
too.
if you look at it without the lens of faith, you can say there isn't life on planet or isn't life on other planets that we found yet. There could
Okay.
be, there could not be.
Okay,
but
I'm
that
not
doesn't
saying-
necessarily mean that there's.
I
At one
know,
point,
but
there
I'm
was,
not saying-
there was
Another
never a
topic.
man on
I
the
think
moon.
there's life
yeah,
on other
and then
planets.
now there is.
But I'm not saying because we don't know that there's other life on other planets that doesn't mean that invalidates my entire argument of there being a God.
Yeah,
like
what?
that doesn't invalidate that for me anyway. I understand that some people it does. Those people also probably think that Earth is still flat. But like I mean, if
Yeah.
you view everything through the lens of faith, like you said, can't the same illogical argument be made for if you view everything through the lens of non-faith?
I'm sorry.
What?
No. It wasn't anything you said. I was just in my head. I was thinking of, God making Earth too, because you were talking about other life on other planets. I didn't mean to interrupt you. It just like randomly hit me. Earth too. Like I had the whole thing in my head. Okay, look. The last thing I'm going to say about this is just that, just knowing like human nature and things like that. There's always been a sense of control. There's always been.
Which means
a
that
leader
doing
of the
good,
pack.
which means that doing good for each other is not a natural thing that we want to do.
We have government
That's
now that
actually
kind
not
of
necessarily
that
true.
we have
That
government.
is necessarily true,
No.
Alex. When you look at what human nature is, and if you go by Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest, we do not want to do good things for each other.
Let's
actually,
fucking
that's not
crusade on
that's
some
not
mother-
very
like,
that's not
I
true
mean,
at all.
this-
Humans are extremely social creatures, more so than many others, and that is because we
So are bonobo monkeys.
okay.
But that doesn't
there's
necessarily.
a
yeah,
leader
but,
of
but,
those
but bonobo monkeys are out there all killing each other and doing all these terrible things that we do.
But they're not,
we're
like, actively helping
humans are
each
very
other.
tribalistic, and that's because we.
Oh my god.
So recording stopped. But what I was saying was that humans have existed in small groups for the vast majority of history, and that's what we're best suited at.
Okay, dude.
In
So
small
have
groups,
wolves.
in small communities. We're living in a time now where everybody's super interconnected. We've got all these people, but you can't care about every single person. There's this whole theory called a monkey sphere of how many people that you can actually care about. I won't tell you where the name comes from, but
Nightmare.
It's a group of people, about like roughly 50 people of who you actually care about, who you can actively think about, and like I'm saying, we live in such a wild, crazy world now. So many people, you can't care about every single person, as you're supposed to. So it's easy to just say, oh, that guy's outside of my tribe, that guy's outside of my pack, and it's easy to screw that guy over. But in reality, the only way that humans have survived as long as we have is that we have intelligence and we have social skills. And these two things have helped us bring ourselves beyond what most animals have been able to achieve.
Yeah, but how many animals are social animals? Like if you just take for instance a pod of whales. If
But-
you take away one of the babies, the mother will physically lament the
but-
loss of her child.
All right.
Yeah, but the rest of what he
Shut up.
said.
Let me finish. If an elephant loses their baby, it will return to that spot every year to mourn the loss of its child. But you can't tell me that humans are the most socially evolved. I mean,
We
have
are.
the internet.
we are able to communicate with each other on a level that no other animal
Exactly.
can. We need other human beings. We are wired for other human beings. If you cut
Other
off
animal-
contact,
That's why
with
a
other
form
human
of
beings-
punishment is isolation. It makes
I
people
would
go. It
gladly
makes people
love
go
that.
crazy.
Please.
Yes, I love to spend time by myself, but when I'm forced to do it and for prolonged amount of time,
I
like
probably spent 3 days without talking.
I
to a
went
single
fucking
human
insane.
being.
A month I was isolated in Alaska, no one around me. I went crazy because all I did was I was trapped inside my house. I wasn't trapped. I
weren't
could have went
trapped,
anywhere.
yeah.
But I was depressed and
Yeah.
and I had
And you could have
behavioral health
told
stuff, and I could have told anyone.
anyone
However, I
didn't.
had behavioral health issues.
I understand.
It was if it was just that easy, then I wouldn't be sad.
I
I'd be,
know.
oh fuck, that
I
sucks.
get that, and I'm not like dismissing that. I'm just saying that then the forces that acted upon it later, and even then, like everything had to happen. If you would have reached out to somebody, other things would have happened. If you decided this, something else would have happened.
But
Like,
again,
I'm just,
it was
I
the
don't
same
think it's
thing
coincidence.
is that
That's
we
all I'm gonna say about it.
just like we are still learning about outer space. I'm still learning about myself and what I'm capable of, and what like when I'm faced with new situations, how do I react to those situations?
Okay.
So I didn't reach out because I just simply didn't know how
Yeah.
to do it. I'm the funny guy. No one takes me seriously. I'll say suicide jokes all day and no one would ever catch that I'm actually upset. So, reaching out was just something different for me. So what I was trying to say about before you took it to a place that I wasn't expecting to take it to, which I thought you made good points, but what I was trying to say is that what I firmly believe is that organized religion, which because this is how it all started, I feel fear. I can't even fucking talk.
What word
I
are you
feel
looking for? There you
that for just like how we have government, religion was created really to control people. You tell the people that if they do something, they'll go to hell or do something. Like you tell them like, hey, you have to pay me $20 to get this divorce thing, or you don't get to have communion. Like it's like those tactics. And I'm not saying that's for everyone, but I'm saying
I think that's a whole nother thing. I think what I view that as in another lens is that people, yes, there have been people that have corrupted the church and used it to gain money or whatever, or to control people or whatever. That has happened, and which is awful because it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, and that's just not right. And that's why a lot of people have trouble going to church or being a Christian because like, oh, this person did me wrong, or this religion did this or allowed this to happen, or when really it was just a messed up group of people
being pieces of shit.
Right. It has nothing to do with the religion itself. It's just,
I mean, don't get me wrong, some religions are fucked up.
What I'm learning, it's a series of ethics. It's a way of like how you view things, which everyone has a certain view. Like in the Middle East, like women can't show themselves. That's just how they view it. Are they wrong for thinking like that?
But
that's
that to me,
not necessarily to them. They think that's just how it is.
Yeah, but Sharia law to me, that's a way of controlling people 100%, because it is not in the Quran where women are not allowed to show themselves, show their faces or anything like that. That is strictly a sect by sect view of that. And that's simply a way to keep women in line.
Okay, so who made the Quran? That's really their interpretation of what even the Bible itself is, written down by many different authors by their own interpretation of things. Okay. And again, they're human, so humans make mistakes. I mean, how do we know what they're even talking about?
I mean, the thing
and
is,
I think that the morals they teach and the ethics they teach are very valuable, and they closely align with how I believe. It's just there's a certain part of it that
can we sum this up with, if you look at the Bible. Okay, so first of all, if you're Christian, I think that's wonderful because I am a Christian and I want everyone to be saved because that's my faith. And that's what I believe. And if you are a certain denomination, I think that's wonderful that you support your church. And, that it just depends on what our faith journey is. And if you're interested in becoming a Christian or you just have questions, I encourage you to read the Bible just to see what's in there. And quite frankly, as a Christian and as a person, I'm amazed by the Bible that it was written by so many different people, and all of them somehow, in different times, in different places, somehow have the same goal and the same lessons, basically. Like, that coincidence to me is crazy.
But it also spreads, kind of like the coronavirus. It just spreads.
Hold on.
No, it spreads. Okay, so for instance, the Native Americans didn't have until we came over there and started we brought that shit with us. I mean,
what did we bring?
Like our version of religion.
Okay, but they had religion before that.
They had again things that they didn't understand. There's a sun god, there's a wind god, there's a god for everything.
Yes, but they also had the Great Mother, which was essentially their interpretation of God. And I also believe that just because we call something Christianity, somebody else calls something, whatever the Navajo religion is, or Hinduism or anything, that doesn't mean that they all can't just be different interpretations of the same thing. Because people think that Hinduism is a combination of multiple deities, when in reality there is an overarching deity, and the others are essentially their versions of saints. So it's like,
I have a genuine question.
It's not.
I have a genuine question.
Yeah.
So, the Bible's written, throughout the ages by a whole bunch of different people. Mm-hmm. Who gave the authority to say, all right, this is a part of the Bible and this isn't?
It was probably...
That's called the Council of Nicaea.
Council of Nicaea. Is that
I mean-
Catholic?
Yeah, back when that was the only version of Christianity.
Copy that.
Which again was, I mean, from my understanding, very brutal.
No, not always.
Not always.
What are you
but,
talking about?
I mean,
The fucking Crusades?
yeah,
Don't
I
get
mean-
me wrong. We weren't the only ones who were fucking brutal. Okay.
yes, but I mean,
Okay.
I think
okay, here's the thing.
tat
Here's
thing,
the
like,
thing.
oh.
No,
Everyone-
you're brutal. Well, here's a fucking
Everyone,
knife.
No, here's
everyone
no,
was
here's the
barbaric
thing.
back then.
No, here's
people.
the thing: is I
Doesn't
studied
matter.
I studied
Everyone
the
was.
Crusades in college. Okay, that was one of the passions of mine that I wanted to learn more about. And sure, we were like, let's take back the Holy Land because apparently it's ours, even though it belongs to 3 different religions and whatever. But there's also like nothing in the Quran that calls for what they now call jihad. It doesn't exist. It says that you are allowed to retaliate if somebody comes in and tries to take your land, right? But there's nothing that says that you can just wage war against infidels because strictly for the fact that they're infidels. So using the Crusades as an example, not a good example. And just because that was Catholicism, like that's it was the only form of Christianity. So,
But it was a form of real, like, pretty much government for them.
They taxed, didn't they?
what?
Didn't they tax? The Catholic Church tax?
Again,
No, every
It's-
church has tithing.
again,
It wasn't tithing. I thought it was like an actual tax.
No, it's tithing.
Again,
The
people
megachurch.
Like the
people
megachurch.
are sinners. Everyone does something that's messed up, and it includes people who are part of a religion.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not forgiving the Catholic Church. Don't get me wrong. The fucking Medici family was just fucking brutal.
Or all the kids that were diddled, like in Pennsylvania.
Oh my god.
More
No, no,
than
no. I'm
Pennsylvania.
being,
Bring
I'm
that
being,
up
no, I'm being
Way
serious.
more than
But see, that
Pennsylvania.
to me pisses me off when people bring that up as like a reason to reject the Catholic Church. Because just because you have people who are pieces of fucking shit and think that they can diddle little kids, as you say, does not mean that you can condemn an entire
Well,
Yeah.
for me, it's
No,
more
section
the
of
cover-up.
Christianity.
I'm, and I'm
Cover
not
up.
saying that you have to
People were
complete it, but it
not
was very
okay.
systematic. It wasn't just one guy.
Yeah.
And-
It's never just one guy.
But it mean to just blindly like go for it. I mean, you still have to question it, and that's what I'm saying. I'm
the
not
cover
saying
up. The
if you're
willingness to cover up was more concerning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
to
the
me.
willingness of that diocese to cover it up because that diocese was corrupt.
But I mean,
Yes.
there
But
were
that's
more
not
than
saying okay, Alex.
I mean-
My point is you cannot blame the entirety of Catholicism,
right.
right?
Right.
by far the largest sect of Christianity
Right,
across
right,
the
right.
world.
But I didn't do that. I didn't say that.
No, but people do, is what I'm saying. Like, you're like, you can't dismiss the diddling of little kids. And I'm like, I'm not saying that you can. I'm just saying that people are like, oh, but Catholic priests diddle little kids.
yeah, but there's tons of Catholics that are good people. I'm marrying a Catholic,
Yeah.
and I'm terribly afraid of like everyone who's Catholic that in your family of crusading my
Why?
ass.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. What the hell? You're ridiculous.
Okay.
They're gonna come in the full garb with a shotgun.
No, not a
Straight up
shotgun. You
fucking
gotta
paladin.
bring my
Just
sword.
coming
Yeah,
in.
I'll just use my sword. It's fine.
Yeah, you do have a
I
sword.
do have a sword. I have a katana too.
That's on a different note, badass. But
Is that canon? To the
okay,
It is.
I have
It
a-
is canon.
Okay, I have the question for you
There's
two.
Japanese,
Just because I want to know like your
Crusaders?
take on this.
you know.
Okay, so
Try to take back the Forbidden City, man.
Can I say
In my
something
case-
before you
let him ask.
well, it's
We
just
haven't
a it's
really
just
let
an
it
easy.
Okay.
It's not a.
Go ahead.
I just want to. It's a yes or no, really. I mean,
This
okay,
is going to turn into a not yes or no.
it won't. But okay, so just based off of
Yeah.
general religion and like what most organized churches or
Yeah.
people that if I don't believe in God, but I do follow, like I don't go out, pillaging and like just being just an absolute piece of shit to people. I give to the community when I can. I help the homeless when I see them most of the time. I mean, I feel like I'm not, again, growing up in the church, I have a lot of that same values. Would I still go to heaven if I absolutely don't believe that there's a God? Because I
have
mean,
no
in a way,
idea.
I mean, it's,
I don't think it's for anyone to judge that.
And I honestly have I'm not afraid to say I have no fucking clue.
if I can
I don't
just
fucking
sit
know at
and
all.
shout
That's
on the
what I'm
mountaintops
saying.
that there is no God,
You might
and
be a
that
little offended by
there is no God, right?
might be a little
if there
offended
was
by
a God, we killed him. Like he is dead.
Do you think God
Now-
stays in heaven because he too is afraid of what he's created?
Well, no, it's okay.
from?
I mean,
I can't ever remember.
Spy
it.
Kids.
Spy
Spy
Kids.
Kids.
which is a reference you never would think.
Steve Buscemi, that's right. Yeah.
Now I'm being over the top, but
You're being a little over the top.
a lot over the top. But
Because that's
that's my point. Because if I firmly do not believe that there's a God, but I'm not killing anyone. I mean, for most churches, I mean, if I don't have God in my heart, I mean, it's God gets to choose, but in the
Well, like
Bible,
I said,
it's pretty kind
I
of
don't know.
clear.
But then also the entirety of like when oh God, I'm getting like super Catholic right now. I'm not happy about it, but I am. When you know, it all goes back to John 3:16 when God so loved the earth that he sent his only son for us. But the whole point is that when God gave us Jesus, essentially, he created a new covenant. Right? Which is to say that like the fire brimstone shit from like he recognized that fire and brimstone, everything from like the Old Testament, it wasn't working. Not good.
How much do you think of the Old Testament that wiped away?
I'd say quite a bit of it.
Quite
I
a
mean,
bit.
keep the 10 Commandments because that's like
Right.
I mean, even Jesus said keep the 10 Commandments. But like I mean, it comes down to like the golden rule. Love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Ooh.
Basically.
You
know
know
what I mean?
good and well that the golden rule is if it's not gay in a 3-way.
Jesus Christ.
See, and it's people like you. That's
I'm
why,
just saying,
see,
that's what it
That's
is.
why you don't go to heaven. That shit. That's
I would like to
why.
think that God has a sense of humor.
Yeah, but
and
not
like,
that. Not when he's like, oh my God, I literally gave you a rule to live by in order to be good people, and you're going to fucking pervert it into the. No, that's not the golden rule. Jesus said it's. What is it? What
Okay.
was it? Say it again.
It's not gay if it's in a 3-way, but
What?
okay. Now,
I think I don't think people should ask other people like
Yeah, that's hard.
if I do this, am I going to go to heaven or hell? Because
Yeah.
we don't know the
That's
answer.
such a.
No one
but I'm
knows the
saying based
answer to
on
that.
the
I
church,
don't know.
because most churches would say
No.
that if you don't follow,
No, not necessarily.
No, it's
I
entirely.
mean, you don't get to have communion because
it
what
also
you're marrying
says-
or you get to marry someone who's not
Okay,
like
No,
it also
you don't get to
said
no.
It's-
I'm going to do it anyway
it says in the Bible
because I'm petty.
that we cannot judge, and that what was it? That woman was going to be stoned.
Oh yes,
And they
it's
said-
let he who has not sinned cast the first stone, and
Yeah.
they all dropped their stones because they were like, oh
yeah,
fuck.
except
I'm a
for the
piece of
gays, they don't get to
No,
go to
they-
heaven. I mean,
shit. Nobody has said that. That's not in the fucking Bible. He literally like there's a meme about it.
Yes,
where
but-
it says you know like it
well,
says,
then where do churches get that from? 'Cause
Shut
they're all-
up! It says because well, okay, it actually is in the Bible. I lied. It's in the Old Testament. It says like he who lays with a man is.
There it
that
is.
was one of my questions.
But then again, like I said, when God gave us Jesus, he created a new covenant. Which, if you don't know what a covenant is,
yeah, Indiana Jones gave us that. We know what.
So you believe that?
oh my God,
that,
that's the Ark of the Covenant.
So do you?
It symbolizes the covenant.
You believe
It holds
Joshua.
the stones.
the new covenant wipes
He
away the
used
gay
the stones to.
I think the new covenant is like Emily said. Don't judge other people. If other people want to do whatever the fuck they want to do, let them do them. Okay, but don't sit here and be like, you're fucking going to hell because you like having sex with dudes. Like that's not your
Thank
job
God.
to
Westboro
judge.
Baptist
You know what I
Church.
mean? Like that's not your job to judge those people. Okay, they can do whatever the hell they want,
Yeah.
and then it's my belief that then it's God's.
Okay.
Then he can judge it.
Okay,
Okay,
then-
I don't really care.
Me saying that wasn't to say, like, for you to like. I mean, you guys can say you're going to heaven or hell, but honestly, again, since growing up in the church, I know that you don't get a say. He's the one who
Oh, exactly.
he's the one who makes that decision.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying I'm not as well versed in
And
the
that's the whole
Bible
point of
as you
not
guys
judging.
probably are. So I was just simply asking, like,
Yeah.
from my understanding, if you don't believe in God, you don't go to heaven.
No, that is the whole debate of the thing. It's like organized religion as a whole has said if you do not like Baptists, all you have to do is be like, yep, I reject other religions. I'm Baptist now. I have Jesus. Woo, we're good. Jehovah's Witness. You can't sing. You can't do this. You can't drink. You can't do that. And then you'll go to heaven. And so it's like it's all these organized religions have their own interpretations of what you do in your life to get to heaven. But in the Bible, Jesus just said, love your neighbors, you love yourself, don't judge each other. Like there's a fucking meme about it where he's like, bitch, did I stutter? He's like, no, I didn't say don't love the gays.
2 Corinthians.
he didn't say don't love the gays or don't love these people or don't love those people or don't love people who aren't Christian. He just said love your neighbors, you love yourself. That's it.
Love everyone. Like if you would, like, you know, if you would lay down your life for your friend. I mean, that's basically like the length he was saying to go to.
Yeah. Which again, everything you're saying, I mean, generally, I mean, yeah.
Which,
don't treat people like assholes. Don't fucking rape people because rape kind of sucks.
Which is why I don't think you need organized religion. Which is why it's like if you want to be Christian and that's what you want to follow, then you do you. If you want to be Buddhist and that's essentially what you want to follow, you do you. I really don't care. And like I said, it's not my place to judge anyway.
And the big. Okay, you guys are gonna hate me for even bringing it up.
Probably.
But I have a general question. I mean. Just so I get it right.
Okay.
God talked through a flaming bush, right?
Yes, Joshua.
Now, again, I'm very well aware that
he's
a
the
lot
world's
of
best ventriloquist. Okay.
A lot of the things that are in the Bible are more. It's not like maybe he didn't really talk through a flaming bush. Maybe it's symbolic. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of symbolism in it. So everything, like I can say, there was a bush on fire. It's like, well, maybe it's not that.
Okay,
maybe the symbolism behind it. But when it comes to Jesus dying on the cross, isn't it a little extreme?
No, there's historic evidence for it.
Which is another thing that I wanted to say.
Yeah, me too.
But
some people can be buried. I mean, I'm not gonna go there.
Were you just gonna compare Jesus Christ to a
No, I'm just saying he was in a cave and like anyone can be in a cave. I'm not saying. I'm saying we don't know if that's what that is.
Okay,
there have been several times where people have,
as like a medical thing. Can I explain it?
Well, let me get my point across because I didn't get it across yet.
Finish.
If he could do all of these great things, isn't there not a better way to say, "Here I am," than to send his only son down to be killed by us?
That was okay.
It is an odd plan.
Shush.
Like, there's got to be a
because then I want to talk.
Better plan than that.
Okay.
Because I would believe him if he came down as like the marshmallow guy from Ghostbusters. If he came down like that, I would believe him.
Okay.
What is the thing that you find the most important in life and that you would relate to the most? Saving yourself. Out of the bottom line
innately in ourselves
is survival, saving yourself.
Okay.
So like if you are willing to not save yourself and to literally die
for people you don't even know,
it's completely out of your control. Like you're gonna let someone kill you.
Don't our brave U.S. soldiers do that every day?
I would
do that in the most brutal way possible.
And even Jesus was basically like, "Do I really have to do this before it happens?"
He sweat blood and said, it's not my will, it's your will. If this is what I need to do, then let it be done. But he wasn't gonna flee. He could have fled.
Josh was willing to die for America's sins when he went over to Afghanistan.
Okay, listen. It was not a good equation. Okay, but let me talk about this for a second. This is something it was
the most relatable thing he could have ever done in the history of ever, because everyone can relate to it no matter what time you're in.
To go off of that, because going off of my question that you just answered, I would say, I would save my son over myself. I would save you over myself.
Yes, but you know
I would save Alex. If Alex was going to kill, I wouldn't want.
And you love all of us.
Yeah.
But would you save for 10,000 people? Would you die for 10,000 people you had no connection with and you quite honestly hated?
Would you, if I was mentally unstable, I would.
But you're not.
But there are mentally unstable people.
Listen, if you were completely sound of mind, would you?
To just
be 100% honest.
I mean, it's kind of what happens when you join the military. I mean, you're taking that role.
Yeah, if you're in a room, press button. Hey, save the world. Or,
yes,
you're given
a fighting chance, right? You have a weapon. You can fight back. The whole bit. Are you willingly going to be scourged like 100 times to the point where flesh is being ripped off your back and then continue to carry a cross that's how many hundreds of pounds through Jerusalem, up a hill, be nailed to it, and then have the ability to save yourself, and you don't? Would you?
No, but
Exactly.
he was also surrounded by guards and like forced to do it.
No, dude, the whole point
Just like
is-
the Jews had
whole
no
point-
choice but to
No,
fucking
he
go to
could
the gas
have.
chamber.
When Jesus,
they died because
hold up,
Christ.
no. When Jesus was tempted in the desert by the devil for 40 days, he said, all you have to do is call on your Father, and he will send a legion of angels to take you out of this and away.
But who said that? Who said that
The
happened?
devil said that, okay?
And we're supposed to believe him.
Oh my God, Joshua.
So, well,
You're
okay.
You brought this into something that is no longer anything I can prove to you, because this is based strictly off what's in the Bible. But I can tell you what's based in reality and what's based on science. Is that Jesus died on that cross. He is a human being that we know existed in history, right? It is.
There's
No,
historical-
it's
there's
not
historical
highly
evidence.
debated. It is. Everybody.
There-
You ask any historian, it is historically proven that he is a human
yeah.
being who existed and was crucified in Jerusalem by Pontius Pilate. Okay?
But
Yeah,
there were more
there
than one
were-
person that
But
was crucified.
listen.
There was hundreds of people
No, but
crucified.
but we know that it's Jesus Christ. The person that we know as Jesus Christ was killed on a cross. He was crucified, died.
He didn't have a
The
name
end.
tag. I mean,
He
we don't
did.
know who.
He
Okay,
did.
ma-
They wrote the.
Well, they
they
wrote a
fucking
little-
wrote King of the Jews.
To support that, major events that happen in the Bible, they have found historical evidence. I
Yes.
mean, they found artifacts like
J-
in the locations where they should
I mean,
be.
for the simple fact
so
that
if you need visual evidence,
They
I
have
would
it.
encourage
But
you
there's
to
been
look into
there's
that.
been stuff that like has been planted before.
Okay,
Like, how do I know?
here-
And even
okay,
if it isn't,
here's something I can give
stuff
you.
that like crosses being found
They're
or like
shroud of
bloody
Turin.
rags.
No.
That happens all over the place.
Okay,
So of course
okay,
you're gonna find
okay.
stuff in that time period.
Okay,
That's there.
let's get off the Jesus Christ thing. I can give you this as solid evidence that Moses and the Ten Commandments happened. Can I do that?
Do what?
That
When
there
God
was a flood.
Actually
Killed everyone
actually,
except for
no,
a boat of
that
people.
may be corroborated because in Gilgamesh, the oldest epic ever written, they speak of a great flood that wiped out how.
But they
The
didn't
entire
have.
planet?
Yeah.
But they didn't have internet. They don't know. How
No,
do they know that it was
that's
the
what
entire
I'm saying.
planet?
Gilgamesh is the oldest recorded epic. It is the first written down story ever, right? And it speaks of what is then spoken
I mean, it's the
thousands
oldest
of years later
surviving.
in the Bible, right?
Okay. Well, I'm not saying that there wasn't a flood, but I mean, according to the Bible, God hit the reset button
Well,
and flooded the
yeah.
entire planet.
There's a whole thing about recycling content. If you were, older religions contain a lot of things that
Gilgamesh
eventually
is
end
not
up.
religious.
Older
at all.
religions and texts and all sorts of things eventually ended up forming. What is the Bible? There are themes within the Bible that were that had existed for a very long time in other religions that came before it. So I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that
Either
that's
way,
necessarily
Moses was not the ark. We got off track somehow really quickly. Is that Moses was not the flood? Moses was the Ten Commandments, and that's what I was trying to get at.
Yes.
Noah was the flood.
Right.
Just so we're clear.
Yes.
Okay. Mount Sinai, as we know it, is not the actual Mount Sinai from the Bible. Okay? Technically, the real Mount Sinai is in Saudi Arabia. There are scientists and historians and archaeologists that have traced the path spoken of in the Bible to this mountain in Saudi Arabia that inexplicably, right, is surrounded by the army, the Saudi Arabian army, for no fucking reason. Nobody knows why. It's got a big fence around it, right? But if you look at the top of this mountain, the top of the mountain is scorched. Like rock was melted, right? Which is completely in alignment with the story of Moses receiving the Ten Commandments at the top of the mountain and a great pillar of fire basically scorching the top of the mountain, right? And they have found altars that line up with what is spoken of in the Bible about how there were altars built at the base of the mountain. Then there's also the barrier stones that were placed that were like, basically, don't walk up this mountain or you're going to fucking burn to death. It's all there. And so, like,
I know,
I know
in Fort Wainwright, there's a big mountain, and it's very cold there.
No.
And I know all this
It's not
stuff
cold
about
there.
it.
Why would it be cold? What?
In Alaska, I know there's a mountain there, and I know for a fact that the United States military is there. So when I go around traveling, I can tell people about this mountain, and like I can say whatever I want about this mountain. How do I? But I mean, it exists. I'm not saying that like
this is 2020, and you can travel just about anywhere and however.
But
fast
back
you
then,
want.
they didn't have that. That's my point. So I could tell you, oh, I saw this crazy thing. How do you know I'm even telling the
Well,
truth?
that's what I'm saying.
How do you interpret lightning when you don't even know what it is? Back then, they didn't know what that shit was, but
Anna,
now we
the
do.
The whole point is that every part of this story is corroborated. I
think okay.
Hold the fucking phone.
Okay, hang on.
But here's where the problem inherently lies: is that because you don't want to believe that that's what it is, you never will.
It's because you do want to believe that you could look at things and say, "Oh, yes, it must be true," because there's evidence.
You don't think
here
I've
for
ever
it.
doubted anything in my life. You don't think I've ever doubted my faith.
That's not what I'm saying.
That is exactly what you're saying.
That's
Alex.
not what
You're
I'm saying at all.
that-
I'm saying if you're open to the idea
Alex.
of like, hey, I want to believe in this, and
Yeah.
somebody's trying to sell you, hey, I have this wonderful
But the
program
problem
that I want to
is,
sell to the
there's
History
just-
Channel
is you're
that,
not.
You know,
The problem is you're not. You've closed yourself off to the idea.
No.
Well, I mean, I would say that the same could be said in this conversation because I would say just
Oh,
no, hold on. I'm just saying
I'm all
you're
for
very more
evidence.
not angry, but you're very more like
Okay, the reason why
you've told me to shut the fuck up several times
Okay,
in this conversation.
I know, and it's just because I want to be able to get my point out without being told something.
Yeah.
But it's like, but my entire point is that just because I'm a Christian and this is what I believe doesn't mean that my opinion is any less valid just because I want to believe it. You don't think I haven't sought out things to actually historically and scientifically and archaeologically prove what I believe? I mean, it's inherent in us to not just want to believe in something that we can't see.
Well,
Nobody wants that.
well,
Like
this
we
part-
all try and find ways to trick our parents into proving that Santa Claus is real or proving that the Easter Bunny is real, right?
Well,
but
this part's mute because I believe that you believe, and I want you to believe in what you believe.
I know, but
and I'm not trying to change your mind. But
I think
anything that you're saying, it's not that I don't necessarily believe
I
what
know,
you're
but-
saying, and I don't know enough to tell you you're absolutely wrong. I can't tell you that there is no God because I
know.
don't know.
But that's my
But-
entire point is that this whole thing, right, is I'm not saying that you don't have the right to not believe because you absolutely do. What I'm just saying is that every point that we've tried to make has immediately been rejected in some way
But-
as like it's just because you don't understand it, or it's just because of this, or it's because content has been stolen before in the past and
Well,
in
same
the present.
for us though. Every point we've
know.
made has been the same. I mean,
Exactly, but
that's how
like,
conversations happen. I'm just saying.
And I understand that, but at the end of the day, it's going to turn into the exact same argument. Is that, I'm not willing to look outside my lens of faith and you're not willing to look outside your lens of logic. Because at the end of the day, if you don't want to believe it, you won't. And if you do want to believe it, you will. But it's like there's nothing I can do or anybody else can do to change your mind unless you look into it for yourself.
You have to be open to it. And I am not a person that can, I can change. I know for a fact I can change. The biggest thing that I always bring it up whenever I'm talking to, like in school or something. I had a conversation with Alex about whenever the shooting.
eyes
Yeah,
was like,
he
"Oh,
changed.
fuck."
He changed my mind about something because I grew up in a very conservative home, and I have a certain way of thinking, and Alex doesn't think the same way I do. So when that one of the shootings happened in the at one of the schools, I thought that having armed teachers would help stop that from happening. Obviously, you would have teachers having classes, blah blah blah.
Doug, why are you opening up to gun control, man?
No,
We're
no,
already
no.
on religion. It's a terrible
No,
topic
no,
to be
hold
on.
on. I'm gonna get off. I'm just giving you my
Or are
point.
these all things we disagree on?
Okay, what I'm saying now, I'm just gonna. No, I don't think that the teachers should be. Now he convinced me, and he brought up a good point that I agree with, that I don't think teachers should be armed, because one of the big talking points that was all over the news, they're all like, "Oh, teachers should have guns. It will stop this," and there are some good points with that. But I think that the risk that Alex gave me outweighs that, because when you have something crazy happening, you've got these teachers who are teaching these kids that they've tried to grow connections with, and you're expecting them to shoot and not miss and hit another student or all this, and you're expecting all this craziness to go down.
Yeah, you went way in depth into something completely different.
Let me finish my fucking point, okay?
Finish your point, but I'm just saying, like, don't.
This isn't a discussion. I'm telling you what.
Is your microphone still up?
Yeah, it's off, so you're just hearing me like in the background. But like, do not open this to a discussion. I'm just telling you right now.
For the record, I'm against like banning like.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Large
Yeah, I'm not
firearms and anything like
for that
that.
either.
I've made this argument 3 times in mock Congress, so like, this is not a position I want to.
Okay.
Continue your point. Though.
When
Okay,
you're
what
done,
I'm-
I
the
want
whole
to say
po-
something.
the whole point of what I'm trying to say is I was very, like, when I talked to him, I was upset. I'm like, how do you not understand? Like, a teacher could stop a kid from doing something, and then he managed to change my mind. Now that doesn't mean that I'm right because I believe that, but he did manage to change my mind because I was open.
Fuck you.
Well, no.
I was open to the possibility. I don't know if he still believes that now.
No, I do.
And it doesn't matter. Like, and all because I believe that doesn't mean that you're wrong if you think the opposite. I think that that maybe there is a way that we can make it happen. Maybe it's not teachers having it. There's armed police officers or whatever that are there, but it's still. I mean, you can't. There's too many variables. There's no way. No one will ever be right about it, because there will always be something happening that you just don't know.
Because it's a big
You
old
can't
country.
plan. Yeah, you can't plan for everything.
Big old country.
Yeah.
So, getting off this topic, I was able to change my mind. So, like, when you're talking,
So
I'm not shutting it off. I am listening to what you're saying. Yes, I'm quick to give you my.
I think you're listening.
Yeah, I'm quick to give you my opinion afterwards. What'd you say? No, no. And so, going off of your conversation, I am listening. I'm just.
I have another gun control related topic.
Okay,
fuck me up.
hang on. Hang on.
Stop it.
No,
Hang
I used to think that
Hang on.
like
Oh,
you know, the assault rifles and shit should be banned, and then somebody
Assault
showed me
rifles
that the statistics for, like, you know, gun deaths, and I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm like, oh, holy fuck, you know, and I finally yeah. So I actually, with the evidence right there in my fucking face, of course, I'm going to change what I believe. So, boom.
Okay,
there you go.
so-
I'm capable of change.
Okay. So, off of what Anna said like 5 minutes ago.
I don't even remember what I said 5 minutes ago.
So
It's not a good thing either.
part of the reason why I'm a Christian is not because I grew up that way. I think because I grew up that way, I feel very lucky that I have more knowledge than just like becoming a Christian like a year ago. But also because of I'm a Christian because I feel it in my bones. And I know that that's like not something that you can see in so it might be hard to understand, but also because if you do want evidence, you can find it all over the place. So many artifacts, and not just even something that you just are specifically looking for, like articles that are biased.
Complete side note, Alex's phone just went off, and somebody at work has that same ringtone for their text messages, and
It's
I was
Star Trek.
like
It's Voyager. Are you a fan of Star Trek?
here. They follow me everywhere. I'll have to remember who it is. I can't think of it right now.
So
So yeah,
That
but
was oddly
yeah.
But like I was saying, just like I like history already, but it's so amazing to actually see proof of something that you believe in, and you're like, yeah, it's not based on something that you can see, or so you thought, and then you see all these artifacts that they've found and keep finding, and all these things that back up stories that happen in the Bible. And just the fact that, like I said before, there's so many different authors from so many different countries and places in the world that all came together to tell the same story, basically, and that you can read the Bible and relate it to every situation in life is just amazing. And so, like, I think that's why we're so, like, passionate about it, is because we're like, it's so amazing. We only wish you could know it in your heart. It's just that amazing. So,
yeah, I mean, I would say that you're probably pretty much in an environment. Would you say that you're given that knowledge of religion and you grew up with it? But say you're in a different environment. Say you're in a household that doesn't believe in God at all. It is absolutely possible. You'll still find God. There's no way that you wouldn't.
Oh, you'll never.
I mean, you never know how you're gonna find him. I mean, you could be completely isolated and then come to find him or your own version of him, which is pretty much how I think religion
should be.
It should be how what gives you purpose, what gives you the reason to move forward, and not just well my life sucks and I'm done with it. Like something that keeps your drive. And
you know what it is?
That is, to me, faith, and faith can be anything. So for me, I believe more in like family. I want like that will keep me going. That kind of stuff is my faith. Like I want that.
That's at the end of the day. Yeah, I accept the values. I like the values. I think that we should be like the character of Jesus, but I reject the dogma. There's just a lot of unnecessary bits that I find that,
And that's what you get with organized religion.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you'll find Hindus and Muslims who are the same way. They're like, I don't really like that part of going to temple, but like, I like the rest of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody feels the same way. We all hate. Like, you know what? It's also kind of like that thing, like where you're in high school and middle school and you get in a assigned seat and you're like, oh, I don't want to fucking sit here. But then you get to college or like work and you park in the same spot every day and then somebody else parks in your spot. You're like, motherfucker, get the fuck out of my spot. You know what I mean? So like when it's your choice, it's great. But like when somebody else is trying to dictate something to you, you hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like the fact that you have found, like to you evidence and things that help, strengthen your faith with God and everything. I think that's really good. And that's really powerful for someone to find that. Maybe him and I, or maybe Alex and I interpret these, relics and stuff a different way. Doesn't mean we're right or wrong, or you right or wrong, but if that strengthens your relationship and that keeps you moving forward, then that's God. That's your God. That he exists because you have made it exist. At least to me, like how I see it, like that is your God, and I firmly respect that. Now, that's not to say that there isn't a God. I'm not saying that. But I mean,
so we can go on to the next topic after this, but like to sum all this up,
another topic.
we'll figure out one. But to really sum
Didn't you
this
think
up,
this was a bouncy ball.
like
Talk about that.
as a Christian, I do wish the world was Christian, just because it would be so amazing and everyone would be so kind to each other. But I'm not saying that there should be like a Korean crusade.
let's get fucking crusading.
No, I
I actually was going to suggest the title of this is The Gang Goes Crusading.
Oh my god!
Wow, that's
No.
a rough one, man.
Okay.
Who else wanted to make the world?
Can I finish, please?
Joshua,
Wait,
I know where
can
you're
I-
going with
can
this.
I please
Don't even
finish?
say
My
it.
boy Adolf.
I knew it.
Can we
Where
finish this
did-
with Crusader memes?
Can I
Yes, I'm
Oh
sorry.
my
I'm sorry. Lee.
gosh.
Go ahead and finish.
Okay, so as I was saying,
Get Adolf Hitler, man.
like
Quit it.
I do wish, everyone knew the love of Christ, because it's so amazing. But I think that the world is truly a beautiful place because of the different cultures and the different things that people bring to the table.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And for me, it's kind of the same because again, my values are very similar to. I mean, you and I probably have pretty much the same values.
And I
Maybe
think
mine
that,
doesn't go as far as thinking
well,
there's a God.
I'm not.
And
I'm
I
not
think-
sure we all believe with the value of if it's not gay if it's homie.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. John chapter 2, he
I think-
definitely
Don't
said
I think that
it's not gay to jerk off your homie. That's just
No, that's
that ain't
like
gay.
that's
I'm
like
sorry.
DeAndre chapter 2.
I think we can all learn something from each other. Is
Requees chapter 2.
Requees.
so gun control.
No.
I was gonna make that joke. You beat me to it.
Hey, can we finish this out with Crusader memes?
Yeah.
Just look it up on
No.
YouTube.
Do
those
Crusader
actually
memes.
exist?
There's a lot of
No.
Crusader
Are there?
memes. Yeah.
I want to
That's
see it.
just awful. Okay, stop.
No, I want to see it.
A guy
Quit
walking
it.
in the room is like, "Have you been reading Heresy?"
This
He's in
is
the
just
full
like,
Crusader gear.
dude, this is like shit like the Wiggles. Like, if you watch this on an acid trip, you'd like lose your fucking mind.
Yeah, we're back.
Okay,
to
watch this.
watching
I'm
you guys
gonna
remember
bring it right back,
Prometheus and
right?
Do you remember
Bob.
So hold
Bob?
on, this guy right here, right? This caveman, Bob, right? Now to him, this purple dude came out from outer space in this ship, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think he views him as?
Dude, who the fuck knows at that point? Look at his eyes.
God.
Look at both of you.
I see God.
Honestly,
And God's name is Prometheus.
dude, honestly,
Hey, what do you guys
I'm
think
waiting
about
for somebody-
vaccines?
Everybody should get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah,
Vaccine.
it was
Done.
really
There is no medical evidence that it causes autism. Next
Oh, hold on.
Next.
Wait,
Next.
wait,
next,
actually,
next,
no, hold on.
Next.
I got one
next.
thing. One thing I want to say about
We
it.
literally talked about this the other day.
Okay, but not to the American
Did Mr.
people
Divert.
and all the people who are
You did
not
this.
in America. Okay, no, listen.
Watch this anymore.
Listen. Okay.
Okay, continue. No, you're not going to talk over it. Quit it.
Okay, now,
Turn it off.
if you are quit, touch it. Please stop. You're gonna mess it up. You're gonna pause it. You're gonna pause it.
What about vaccines, Joshua?
No, I want it on. God damn it! I want it on. I'm gonna fucking scream.
Do it.
Okay.
What were you saying, Josh?
Yes.
Okay. I was saying
God damn.
with
Josh, for fuck's sake.
I'm not gonna
Just
fucking
talk.
talk until it's playing. I want it playing.
I
Okay.
swear to
Gosh.
God.
To be
Such a
fair,
Now you're gonna
make
to
me
be
start it
fair,
over.
when you
So-
play audio, I've noticed that it's really hard to hear us
Yeah,
talking.
it really
You were
is.
absolutely right, which is why I had turned this down. So it's not going to be an issue. I'm looking
Okay.
at the levels. Okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
what's happening?
Now,
Here we go.
even if vaccines cause autism, even if we knew for a fact,
Shut up.
even if vaccines cause autism, it's better than just dying from the flu. Okay. Okay.
Did you just say it's better to die from the
No,
flu?
No.
it's not better to die.
Not better to die. Okay.
Like, wait.
I'm saying, okay, I would say that the vaccines help people more than it gives people autism.
I have a serious question.
Oh
It's
boy,
a really serious question.
I shouldn't have diverted with this
So,
topic.
since this is the hard questions podcast,
Apparently.
so y'all don't like abortion, right?
No.
Okay,
Right?
whoa.
Okay, so- okay, well,
whoa.
I
So
love how this is like a y'all thing, like
I-
you do. Like
I-
you're like, yes.
I'm pro-vaccine, okay, but there's
I'm
an
wondering
there's
where
an
this is
anti-vax
going.
argument that since they use replicated fetal
Okay.
DNA cells,
You need to start from the beginning.
No,
No,
he
I
does
don't.
not. I do
No,
not
no,
want
no,
to
no.
extend this
So,
out any
in-
longer.
in
than
or-
it
Okay,
is.
so
in order
there's-
to
Yeah,
clone
there's
viruses,
there's an argument
you
that
can
there
get them from an umbilical cord.
there's an argument that dead babies are in vaccines. That is not true.
But specifically, what is true is that there was a baby that was therapeutically aborted like decades ago, and its cells have been continuously replicated to make
And-
vaccines. What do you think
and-
about that?
Okay, so why was
What,
why
okay,
was it
what do you-
aborted?
What do you mean by therapeutically aborted? Like, was it going to
Therapeutically-
cause death to the mother?
either the infant
Yeah.
or the mother was going
No,
to die.
it was both of them.
No pro-life person has ever debated that is an issue.
No, it was both of them. It was
Well, one
the
did.
mother. It was
One did that I got into an argument with.
Of course.
It was the baby was not going to survive and the mother was not going to survive.
Was it like an endopic?
It was-
pregnancy.
it
or
was
an
both.
ectopic pregnancy.
I don't
I'm
think
not sure.
I don't remember them specifying. I just remembered
Okay.
that it was therapeutic, which means
See,
either
So-
one of
I
them
don't
was gonna
see
die.
that part as any different than like if I were to die and I donate my organs to.
Right. There's a
Like,
woman.
maybe that baby doesn't get a choice, but if the mother has said like, yes, I want that
There's a
for my
woman I
child, then
studied in
sure.
college. Her name was Henrietta Lacks, and she had cervical
yeah.
cancer. Yeah, and her cells are still being
Yeah.
used this day.
Unbeknownst to her family for a very long
Well,
time.
for a very long. Yeah, it was a whole ethical
Yeah.
issue, but like
Yeah.
But now
She
it's,
saved
it's,
a lot of people.
Yeah,
though,
but now it's kind of
herself.
cool, like what her legacy is.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
they actually wrote a book, and I attended the seminar that her family gave. It was really cool.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's
it's called The
cool.
Eternal Life of Henrietta Lacks, and then they made a movie about it with Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's really cool though. But yeah,
It was
So,
kinda cool, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pro-life but I think
How did
that
we get on abortion?
right?
We hit gun control,
that-
abortion, and religion. What the
it's
fuck?
the hot button episode. What were you
Yo,
gonna say?
y'all like
I
Donnie.
I think that it was really
Y'all
sad.
like Donnie.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
Hashtag Epstein didn't kill himself. Let's just get all that out there.
I think it was really sad that the child was aborted.
Oh yeah.
And obviously it was a no-win situation either way. And but the fact that instead of burying that child, they used their cells to replicate
And they
more
still- they
cells
still
to
buried
make
the child.
vaccines work for thousands and millions of people is amazing.
While we're getting all hot button, do you believe in therapeutic abortion then?
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Therapeutic abortion.
Okay,
When-
let's
Yes.
take it a
When
step
the
further.
mother will die,
Or the baby
or
will
the
die,
baby will die, like throughout the course of this pregnancy.
which is basically what that baby was.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic abortion.
And it's always been if this pregnancy will kill the mother. I mean, I don't. There's
All
really
right,
never been a pro-life
I
case who's-
accept what you just said, Alex, and so I'm willing to bring it up one. If we're gonna one up each
God.
other, okay? So
Just
I love
straight-
this episode already.
Straight abortion?
No. I'm saying,
I know where you're going with it.
okay,
I know where you're going with it.
President Trump
No, I don't know where you're going with it.
is against abortion, except for the therapeutic.
He supports therapeutic abortion?
Most pro-life people do.
Yes,
Most, not the one you talk
Most-
to,
yeah,
but most.
met a few.
he does, but none of the Democratic nominees do.
Yeah.
So so obviously you do not necessarily like Trump or just anyone. Let's just say they don't like Trump. Do you like, most people feel very passionate about abortion. Is that something that you would rather babies not die?
Okay, hang on. So that's
I mean, it's honestly
I
a really good
think-
question.
yeah, that's a really good question. But I think when you look at that, you're not looking at the bigger picture. You can't take one, like, okay,
I think what his point is like is pro-life a big enough issue for you to vote against your typical party line?
yeah,
That-
that's,
you know what I mean.
that's fine if you want
Yeah.
to look
Yeah.
at it that way. But I also think that looking at it just as like, oh, this one issue I don't like versus I like 10 of them and the other person I only like 5. Like,
Right, because I know a lot of
It
people
doesn't
who like abortion
weigh
is their
out.
thing. They don't care who they vote
I think
for
our
as long
mom
as
is
they're
kinda
pro-life.
like that.
You know what I mean?
I
Our-
think,
yeah,
I think
our
you need
parents
to
are
look
very
at
pro-life.
everything. I think you need to look at everything, like the pros and cons of the one and the pros and cons of the other, not just
So like if they agreed with everything else you do, but they are like staunchly pro-abortion, like they don't think there's any limit as to when or how or what, would you still vote for that person?
I would, because I think the checks and balances would take care of whatever.
Okay. Is there anyone who can one up what I just did there, or do you want me to keep going?
No, dude, I
Okay.
can't. 'Cause
Is
it wouldn't-
abortion moral?
No. The answer to that is no.
Okay.
Question answered. Move on.
I will say that I am not necessarily
we don't have to get on that actual.
Can we
don't
not?
actually have to get on that actual.
okay.
Can we talk about third parties? Can we talk about why there should be a third
Yeah,
party
you want to
instead
know
of
who I'm
Democrat and
voting for? Is the
Republican.
rent is too damn high party. Thank you very much. Have a good night. That man was a genius. He had one party line. He stuck to it, and I was
mean-
like, I appreciate you, sir.
Hell yeah.
Which is nice and all, but
The rent.
D's nuts in North Carolina,
God.
I would have definitely voted for that. And the fact that
D's
D's
nuts.
nuts was actually getting votes in North Carolina, it was like 7%.
It was like a write-in.
I don't know how accurate that is. I mean,
I
I
do
I, just,
remember
I remember
that, though.
seeing
I
that. It could have been a
remember
meme
that.
for all
Yeah.
I know. But the
No, I
fact
think it was real,
the
unfortunately.
fact
He did make it on
He
the
did make it on the
the
ballot.
fact that even
I
if that
remember
wasn't
seeing it, I
real,
was like, who the fuck is that guy? It was like, D's nuts.
What are you saying?
you
Doc?
had dogs that have been elected as
As
mayors.
I
So,
think
I mean-
that's amazing. That's a world we all need to live in.
Um,
And he was mayor until he died. Like, that's the thing that gets me is he was like reelected and shit. Like, how good of a mayor you got to be that you're a dog?
yes, but
Actually,
what
at
if
that point you have a really good city.
here's a
council.
better? Okay,
Yeah.
now I can one up it. Okay, so now you want dogs as presidents.
I do not. I
presidents,
do
or
not
Please
want a
don't
dog.
so let's say the
turn
dog is
into
president,
anything
right?
bad
And you just said that dog was president until he
no,
died.
at that point, I have lost hope in humanity if we elect a fucking dog as the president of the United States. I'm sorry.
Okay, but theoretically,
I
the
would
dog
gain
is
more hope
president
in
until it
humanity.
dies.
Because what if that dog doesn't like
I
the
swear-
person, like a world leader?
Where's the mute?
What if he like bites that person?
Just
Well,
gonna
I mean,
mute
you
their
can always
microphone?
tell
Yeah, I
a
can mute their
person by how a
microphones
dog
from here.
reacts, though.
I want to know.
You're silencing women.
Excuse me?
What the fuck?
Let's
Okay.
bring it there. Okay.
I respect women, and I've always
You
respected
call us
women.
women.
I'm sorry, are you making fun of me because I have a speech impediment?
You don't have a speech impediment.
I
You just
do.
watch
I
Filthy
had
Frank way
speech
too much.
therapy
Wait.
in school.
Give me an arm.
Are we?
Woo. I love the woo.
Are our mics really off?
No, I was just kidding.
No, he was
Okay.
kidding. They're on.
Okay.
It's just that when I was
We were
talking,
talking
you guys
about
just had your
doggos.
own
Please, we
conversation
do
like
it
multiple times.
all the
And when I listened to it, you were talking about how this was too much. When we're having a conversation and you guys talk without us, it's worse. Because I have you turned all the way up.
I think we just need to have our own podcast sometime.
Yeah, we definitely
Our own
do.
episode.
We are doing that.
Wow.
In fact, we're trying to do that next weekend, this
we are?
upcoming weekend.
Are we?
Yeah.
We can't do that on Saturday. It's got to be a Sunday or Friday.
Yeah, it can be whatever day you want.
No, I'm just saying that's when it has to happen because Saturday we have a thing. Oh my God, there's a mammoth. What is happening to that mammoth?
Ooh.
Pause it for a second. Okay, we've established that I've never seen this. What in holy hell is that?
Well, it's a fucking
That's
mammoth.
not a mammoth. That looks like an overgrown dog had sex with a rhino and then a bat got stuck to its head.
No, it just looks like.
Actually, it had sex with a,
what
with
was
a, with a
the
warthog,
mammoth?
and then a bat got stuck.
What was
to
the
its head.
mammoth in Ice Age? What was his name?
Manny?
Manny. It's like if Manny didn't take his
No, it was
vaccines.
Nicolas
That's what he
Cage.
looks like.
It was Nicolas Cage.
Okay. All right.
That's horrifying.
We've been
That's-
going on for 2.5 hours.
Oh my God.
you
Why didn't you end it?
I didn't want to end it. We had a good conversation, I thought.
These are good
No, this was
conversations.
the worst episode we've ever
Oh,
done.
this was a good one.
Okay. Most podcasts that I listen to last.
That's true. You ever
2
listen
hours.
to
Granted,
an
nobody
you
really
ever-
wants to listen
you
to
ever
us,
listen
but-
to an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast? That man can go for like 3.5 hours. Granted, it's the episodes where he's high that he just fucking.
Look, the thing is that it's our podcast. We can do whatever the fuck
That's
we want.
also
Hey,
true.
Let's go
Hey, you.
10 hours.
You who is listening, you got a problem with this? I have a problem with the fact that you listen this far in. All right, what are you doing?
I don't like your political opinions.
Well, because if they didn't, most people would immediately turn it off and then get on and start talking shit about me without actually listening to the whole thing.
Honestly, you know what? I'm okay with that because then at least we're getting some exposure.
Yeah,
That's
how
true.
about
Hey,
we
thanks
just
for
do
thanks for listening.
Yeah, we should just like open up the podcast. We're like, hey, we should kill all of this minority.
Oh
And then-
no,
Excuse me?
Alex!
We'll pick a
No,
different
no,
one every
no,
time.
no,
We'll be
no.
very inclusive about it because
Okay,
no,
let's,
no,
let's
no.
start with cisgendered white males.
sure.
The
Go
two
ahead.
in this room.
Go ahead. Sure.
What, because I'm a cuck? What?
What have I cooked you with?
you know,
God?
just you stole God from me.
Hey, what do you guys think about pet stores?
What?
Pet stores. I think
it's the
they're-
slave trade.
Yeah, I think it's barbaric.
It's the slave trade.
I
I
think
don't know. They have a lot of fun stuff for my fish.
Thank you, PETA. I'll take that sponsorship.
Thank you, Peter. I'll take that sponsorship. As he ate a fucking McChicken
Shh.
and
I don't
those
have to know.
McDonald's beef flavored fries.
I don't have to know that.
Hey,
it's funny
wanna-
that you think that that's made out of chicken.
hey,
It's made of some living creature at some point.
Feathers.
hey
It's
McDonald's.
What?
McDonald's, I'm calling you out. Can you include more diverse options on your menu?
Have you seen McDonald's in Canada?
Do they
Them
have?
bitches know what the fuck is going on.
Y'all try that Impossible Burger?
No, I'm scared. Listen, ever since the taco incident, I don't think I've been back to Burger King. That taco
Well,
was horrendous.
There are other places that have had like the plant-based burgers. Have
Yeah,
you
I
tried
know,
any?
but it's Burger King. There's a way they'll fuck it up.
But besides Burger King, have you tried them from any other?
I don't know where to get them.
Let's
I
talk about the
thought-
real MVP.
Didn't Wendy's have one?
Fuck yeah.
I thought Wendy's had one.
Nah, no.
I knew there's another big one that had a.
Yeah, McDonald's has one.
Yeah, they do.
McDonald's has one.
Yeah.
Huh.
But they use that Beyond Meat shit. Not the
I
Impossible.
want to try that because I had somebody come in
Okay.
at work bring it up.
It's like
Dude, that's
still
like
out
the
there.
greatest still right there, though.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Oh, no.
With all the captions.
Busted.
Busted.
Take a picture of it.
Bustin'.
Hey, you're
always-
running our social media now.
Yeah, but like you always have me take these pictures, but then you never have me send them to me.
New title: Bustin' the Crusades.
Oh my god.
I think it should be titled, I promise we don't talk about religion, gun rights,
abortion.
abortion,
It is an election year.
and Trump,
Gang
am I
triggers
right?
the states.
What'd you say? And what? And Trump, am I right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Also,
Or just like, we
we
are
talked
all,
about Epstein too, briefly, and Adolf Hitler.
Well,
so
there's
I mean,
no
really,
debate
The
with
Josh Knows
Epstein. We
Nothing
all know he
podcast
didn't
world
kill
tour.
He didn't kill himself. They
The
proved
Josh
that.
Knows Nothing podcast world tour. Touch every topic.
World tour. Oh God, we don't even want to. Nope. Nope. Or
Oh,
are we going to
gee.
sell out individual households?
Yeah. The gang visits the Iowa caucus.
Let me in.
Honestly, I think it'd be really funny if we went to like the Alaskan one because you know nobody shows up at that shit.
You guys want some cookies?
Yeah, I know you guys probably don't like know
that's
what's
like-
going on down there,
Have you guys
but
seen those commercials for that random Democratic dude who's running for president that nobody's ever heard of, like the old guy? Have you seen
I feel like
those?
there's a lot of those right
No,
now.
I mean like I see it all the time, like on YouTube and stuff, and I'm like, who?
Talk
Who
about
is
Tom
this?
Steyer.
Maybe I don't know who it is, but like
exactly. That's yeah.
I think you even one time went, who the hell is this guy? And I was like, I don't know. And then it was said he was like for president. I was like,
Hey, fuck it. Since we're on it,
Fucking
who
hilarious.
the hell is that guy?
the Democratic debates,
Yeah.
right? Now, obviously, I have my own views on everything, but do you guys, who are more than likely to vote for someone in that pool, like
Who you voting for?
Like,
Is that what
no,
you're trying to
no, no,
ask?
no, no. I'm not asking that. I'm asking, do you think that the Democratic debate has been handled well?
I think it's a
I think
fucking
that
shit show.
It-
all
is a shit thing.
all the debates are terrible.
Fucking bad.
They
agree.
all
They're
have
rough.
like really bad questions
They really-
targeted towards certain people
and you know
every
what?
single time.
Didn't Andrew Yang say that specific? Like they're like, okay, we know we want to ask this and pit this person against this person and like all that kind of like
Right.
it's so orchestrated,
It
it's
is.
Yeah.
pathetic. And honestly, I think the debate should just be like a town hall type situation. Like you have a
I agree.
moderator who allows citizens to come up and ask
I
questions.
think you should
Absolutely.
have.
And I don't think you're allowed. I don't think you should be allowed to talk about the current administration. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like-
that's
like,
been
yeah.
my.
Yeah.
That's my big.
I
no,
can
you-
agree
So,
with
like,
that.
answer
Yeah.
the fucking question. Don't just tell me that Trump's the problem, but like,
Yeah,
how are you
that's-
gonna fix it?
That's my
Yeah.
biggest. That's my biggest
I agree
problem
with
because
that.
you're when you do that when they get on the stage and talk shit about Trump, you're not going to convince people who voted for Trump to vote for you because now you're basically telling those people that they're fucking wrong.
That they fucked up.
Now, I think that they can talk about the current administration, but talk about how they're going to fix it.
Yeah.
Not so much talk about,
Okay, yeah.
well, he's
Policies
doing
that
this.
they
this.
wanna
Yeah,
do.
I want to
Be
know
like,
your
this
fucking
is
policy.
their current policy, but this is what I
Yeah.
would do.
I hated all of
Yeah.
them. I didn't like any of them because I didn't know anything about them. They're forcing me to, like, when I watch it, they're forcing me to, like, who are you and what are you voting for? Like,
Yeah.
It's really annoying that they make these like they try to get the views. It's not just a boring town hall meeting. It's
Everywhere, all
Honestly,
the time.
I
forever.
Drama.
think presidential debates should be the most boring thing on
I agree.
television.
I agree.
I really honestly do.
I-
I don't think it should turn into this, hey guys, you want to see Bernie and Elizabeth Warren get into it?
Yeah, see, like,
Yeah,
that was a
that was-
perfect
that was
case
Yeah.
of
big.
how stupid
What?
I don't know.
that those debates are, because it's like, for instance, the Democratic Party
Oh, I heard
wants
something.
they already know who they want,
But all the cats are in
right?
there.
Or it's down between like 2 or 3 people.
Sometimes
People like
they're
Andrew
settling.
Yang or
There's like,
Butt
like,
Plug or whatever his name is. He
Little Bean
like, they don't
sometimes
get
goes
any
after
love
Bootsy.
because they're
Oh,
not,
Little Wiz.
they don't want to put any sort of like attention to them because they already know who they want to win. They want Biden or they want
Fuck Biden.
Biden's so fucking creepy. I'm sorry, but
Biden.
he.
How is he still in?
Fuck
I don't
Biden.
know.
Oh man.
Come on.
They-
I mean, have you heard the things that he says?
I know.
It's like, ooh, buddy.
I have a question
Oh,
actually.
honey.
So if there's
Sweetie baby.
any
no.
any Republican that ran in 2016, if they were running against Trump, would you any out of any of the Republicans that ran in 2016, if they were running today against Trump, would you vote for any of them?
I'd vote for Ted Cruz.
Vote for Ted Cruz over
I
Trump?
fucking
today?
love evil Ted Cruz.
I mean, I would vote
Ever since he got that beard, man.
I would
I'm
vote
like,
for Ted Cruz just based on what I know right now, which is not a lot about.
That porn Twitter account thing.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious to me. That's hilarious, and
I
the
wish
things
Jim
like
Jordan was
with the
running for,
memes,
like,
like the way he
Jordan
could take a joke, and
from Ohio.
I don't know if you saw, but
Like him.
Elizabeth Warren like has like this weird clap, and there was video of him like pretending to clap. Like
No, it wasn't
her.
Elizabeth Warren. Okay, it was. You guys remember
Or
the
it's one
State
of
of
the-
the Union when Nancy Pelosi like was
Nancy
clapping
Pelosi.
like this?
Yeah, he
Well, there's
he
a
made
video
fun
of
of
Ted
it.
Cruz like during the like a Senate recess. He was like,
Yeah,
like
incredible.
this.
it's fucking hilarious.
I was like, that's the best.
And I would
thing.
vote
And
for
it
him
was like
just based on that.
it was like a poll that somebody put up. They're like, who did it better? They had like side by side. I just
Incredible.
thought it was so funny.
Yeah, so that is, but that's I don't know anything about like
Oh,
how
God.
his policy. I
So
don't
funny.
remember. So
Yeah, I mean,
and
honestly, I
they'd
didn't
have the
really like
same
Ted Cruz.
thing. Like if you put a bunch of Republicans up there talking about
Because Ted
Obama,
Cruz is
it's
bored.
like,
He looks like a Civil War general.
and all they're doing is
Like,
talking
yeah.
about how shitty Obama is. Like,
You
what
know
the?
what I mean?
Well, who the hell are you?
Like sometimes if you're just boring, I just don't.
Obamacare.
Well, see, that's what
Obamacare.
I'm talking about.
Obamacare.
Gonna get rid of that Obamacare.
Honestly, you know what was so pretentious though is that Obama actually referred to Obamacare as Obamacare.
it's because everybody's referring to it. It's
Yeah,
you know,
but, like,
Affordable
it's like
Care Act, but
yourself.
everybody's just like
If it's yourself, call it the Affordable Care Act. Don't be like Obamacare.
Yeah.
That's the best Obama I've
I
ever
miss
done.
Obama.
All right, I got the name.
Silence.
I got the name of the episode right there.
I miss
I miss
Obama.
Obama. Yes. I miss Obama. Plus abortion, religion, and gun control.
Like
I miss
aside
Obama,
from the
son.
politics, he was
Bring out
just
the Bible.
a really cool guy.
you know, I met his wife.
Hold on. I'm not gonna get into that.
Haha, I win. All you Democrats can suck my dick.
How did you meet Michelle Obama?
What?
I met Michelle Obama and the dog. I petted the dog.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I am so jealous.
Suck it.
How did that happen?
How many hands
Well.
do you think that whore dog?
Well, when I was
That
in
whore over there.
JSA, we went to DC. We got to tour the White House, and we were on TV too.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
I love Michelle.
Why haven't you
Obama.
been using this like fame to our advantage? You know, like that one girl who met Obama.
I didn't meet Obama. I
met Michelle Obama,
But Michelle
has
is
a
almost
podcast.
More well liked than Obama.
It's
Let's
like
be real. The
it's like me hitting
president
the
was
guy.
Mrs. Obama. No.
Let's be real. The president is always Mrs. Whoever. You know.
Fair.
Yeah.
This is like me hitting the gavel because every time, as soon as I stop, you guys start talking again, and I can't get anything across because I'll be talking and you guys completely ignore me and continue talking, and then like all of a sudden you join in the conversation and talk over me, and now I can't fucking talk.
Wow, Jesus.
I think that the Nazi Party did not do anything wrong.
Whoa.
This is why we don't let you talk, okay?
Wow.
God
Okay.
damn. Would you just end it already?
Yes, I'm going to end it.
God. See, it's because you say things like that.
I don't get it. I don't know what you mean by that.
I can't. I'll give you my $50. Just quit it.
No. Is that still off? I need to hear it. Hold on. That'll be the last thing we do.
Just no.
No.
No, I robot.
I want just him
Was
saying
it
no.
from
Is it
iRobot?
called- Yeah,
There
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
I didn't
Right there.
realize that.
I robot. No. Oh, here it is.
5 seconds.
No.
No.
No, that's
It's
still
gonna
wrong.
autoplay. You better
No.
stop that.
Okay, just imagine that robot standing in the corner.
No.
No.
No, it's still wrong.
No.
It's too low. You gotta go higher
No.
with it towards the middle.
No.
There you
No.
go. Play it again.
No.
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 You're doing it wrong.
Okay, you do it, Miss. I can do any iRobot meme.
Yeah, you robot.
No.
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 That was wrong.
It's
You
really
didn't
hard
sound-
to do
It is.
because it's so
such a weird,
unnatural.
like-
Autoplay. You fool.
No. That was more. That was close.
It's just the same thing.
No.
All the way to a Roomba cat meme. What the hell?
Nice. All right. Well, let's be honest. Nobody's listening to this. Travis Steiner, I'm pretty sure we even lost him at this point.
Travis, no.
So he's like,
Travis,
ugh.
please still come to our wedding.
Travis, comment. What should he comment in case he gets this far?
Yeah, if you get this far, Travis.
Comment who won in the clapping war between Pelosi and.
No.
Well,
Tell
that's,
me-
That's as far as you can go.
Enter the
me-
numbers, Mason.
Yeah. Actually, the most controversial topic ever. Just tell me what your favorite Call of Duty is. Just post it on send us a message, even.
Hey,
and
you
then
know-
we'll post it.
You mentioned Carol earlier. If he's still listening,
He's not. He doesn't
He's
listen.
not.
anymore.
He's.
He hates it.
well, anyway, what's up, Carol? Last time I heard from you, you were very threatening.
Ooh. I think she was calling him out.
Did she? I mean, it was more of just a statement.
Yeah, but did you see the look on her face?
Yeah, and plus
bring
it
it
looks
on,
like she's
Carol.
wearing a cape. Like she's ready to.
She's I think he's channeling her inner Megan.
Yes.
Megan. All right.
I love
Hey,
it.
thanks for
wait,
listening.
Wait. Can you call Carol a boob real quick?
What? Oh yeah.
Boob.
There you go.
It's
Perfect.
so good.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Boob. Boob.
Whoa.
Boob.
That sounds like a computer generated voice.
Boob.
Doesn't it?
No. No. No.
The minute you kept doing it, the cat was like,
No. 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 No.
You can end it.
"Hey, can you end it?"
No.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
Tag.
Tag your head.
Tag. We will reclaim the Holy Land.
What?
Oh god. Tag you're it.
Tag.
I can't.
Tag. Hold on. I'm trying to come up with a joke. I'm so bad at this.
You're really bad at this. Oh my god, just end it. End the misery.
Okay.
Just quit.
Okay.
Quit.
Just tag God.
The ultimate tag.
We can get him involved. Hey,
Until he tags you back.
God Almighty. Tag, you're it. Also, Jesus, you're also it. And devil, he's always it.
Yeah, fuck that.
And
guy.
also, no. To the devil, no tap backs, bitch. There we go.
Yeah.
That's all I would say.
That's essentially what God did. He was like, tag your it, no tap backs. And he's like, but I want to come home.
Do you think it's immoral to
Nope,
say?
nope. Bye, everyone.
something. If there's something weird sleeping in your bed, oh, let me tell you something.